beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida, home of the NAIA National Championship. It's been 16 weeks since the season kicked off, and now we're down to 2. The Baker University Wildcats have made the trip from Baldwin City, Kansas. They'll face off with the Saint Francis Cougars from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Both schools in search of their first national title. Tonight, we find out who gets to hoist the trophy and be crowned the 2016 national champion. On a weekend where much of the country is covered in snow, it's a perfect weekend for football here in Daytona Beach for the NAIA Football National Championship. We're at Municipal Stadium where the sun has set and we're ready for the main event. The Saint Francis Cougars out of Indiana are here to take on the Baker Wildcats representing Kansas. Great to have you with us, everybody. Drew Felios alongside former Florida State offensive lineman Forrest Connolly. And Forrest, you've had a chance to experience this great event over the last few years. What are we going to expect over the next few hours?
You can expect a great ball game. Both of these teams have been preparing for this. They've had 2 weeks now. They're ready to go. Everybody's hot. Everybody's tired of waiting. I'm excited. It's time to play football.
Yeah, we got tremendous talent on both sides tonight. First,
well, South Coast has everything you look for in a receiver. Balance, elusiveness, fight, fearlessness. What I'm most impressed with is what he does after he catches the football. He can break tackles, and he'll use a stiff arm to ward off defenders. And at 6'3", he's bigger than the majority of defensive backs that he'll face.
on the other side for Baker, they sport the most decorated player this year in the NAIA. Last night, named Player of the Year, quarterback Logan Bertell. What does he bring to the field?
He brings intelligence. Along with being Player of the Year, he's an academic All-American. What I like about him, 51 passing touchdowns. That's right, 51 passing touchdowns. His best problem is deciding what wide receiver he wants to go to with the football. He has very good feet, he has escapability, and when he needs to, he can run the football. He has 6 rushing touchdowns, so 57 total touchdowns. This guy's amazing.
Good chance this is a high-scoring game here tonight. All right, we're also going to be joined by the third member of our crew. She's down on the field. Welcome, Kristen Bedard.
Well, we know that both of these teams can put up large numbers on that scoreboard, and as we previewed Baker's Logan Bertell, let me tell you something about that St. Francis quarterback, Nick Furrier. 48 touchdowns on the season, just under 4,000 total passing yards. And Coach Donnelly said it's one of the greatest arms he's ever coached. And Coach Donnelly knows a thing or two about winning. He is the all-time winningest NAIA coach, and he enters tonight's game with 301 wins. Guys, only 13 coaches in all of college football have reached 300 wins. Drew?
All right, thank you, Kristen. Neither St. Francis nor Baker have ever won a national championship, and the Dr. Tom Osborne National Championship Trophy. We've got the kickoff coming up next from Daytona. Okay, sit right here, come back over here. Yeah. Yeah. The NAIA National Championship is brought to you by the Daytona Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau. Explore Daytona Beach and all its first-class amenities. Well, Kevin Donnelly is the dean of NAIA football. He's a legend in his 38th season as a head coach, 18th at St. Francis. Right now, the active and all-time wins leader, 301 wins on his career. On the other side, you've got Mike Grossner, the Baker head coach in his 13th season. When he took over Baker, they were 98th out of 110 programs, but now they're knocking on the door of a national championship. So we have already kicked off the ball in this game for us. This night is going to be so good, teams couldn't even wait to get started.
Absolutely. They have been nipping at the bud to get this ball game started. We saw it last night at the awards banquet. Both teams were kind of chipping and chirping at one another, and it's finally here.
So Logan Bertel leading the Baker offense on the field. Play fake on first down and toss it out to the 28-yard line, and a nice move made by Damon Nolan as he is close to a first down right there. So the Wildcats come out throwing.
And you see how fast they get to the line of scrimmage. They want to go, 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 go. They want to get these defensive linemen from St. Francis running.
So a first down on the first play. Wildcats continue to spread it out, toss it out to the other side now, let Cornell Brown work, and he's got it near the 40-yard line. And this is a guy, Force, that you think is going to be huge tonight.
Well, he catches the ball out of the backfield very effectively. He's a converted wide receiver, now playing tailback, over 1,300 yards, running the football, 5.7 average. He can take it to the house from anywhere on the field.
Bertel, 3 straight passes. And look at this offense work on their first drive up to midfield. That's Clarence Clark and another Wildcats first down.
And one of the interesting things about this defense from St. Francis is their defensive backs play off of the receivers. And when you look at what Baker does best, they make moves and do well in the open field with their athletes. Let's see how that plays out this afternoon.
Staying in the shotgun. And Bertel fires again. Johnson reels this one in. It's a short pickup this time. In case you're wondering, this Baker offense averages 546 yards per contest. Seen a lot of football this fall at a lot of levels. I don't think we're going to see anything faster than here with the Wildcats out of Baker. 2nd and 7 now. First running play, and it's Brown. Nifty feet, gets a good block, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
And you see Brown's ability to bounce it until he finds the seam. And a good block by Ladae Boost, number 5, on the outside to free Brown up to get it to 3rd and short.
So Wildcats need about 1 on 3rd down. Bertel throws it again near side, and this is Boost making the catch up to the 35-yard line. Our starting lineups tonight are brought to you by Waste Pro, the South's premier waste removal service company, providing customers with exceptional waste collection, recycling, and disposal services. That is one talented offense. And they are on the move. Another first down. The Wildcats coming at you. There's Brown. And I think the Cougars a little bit surprised as making the tackle that time, Wilmer Cole, but Baker just moving down the field with ease.
And watch the offensive line. They get a surge, they get movement, they get cut blocks. And number 70, Kyle Whitman gets to the 2nd level to cover up the linebackers. They've got to do a good job of being slippery and not allowing these guards to cover them up.
Run it again. It's Brown. More fancy footwork. He's dragged down by Holman as he got it inside the 15-yard line again. Close to another first down, and time to look now at the Waste Pro defense for the Cougars of St. Francis. Lucas Sparks is the main guy. He'll have to get pressure here tonight on the tremendous quarterback Bertel. Also, Hemmelgarn is one to watch. Eric Hemmelgarn wearing number 98, sophomore defensive tackle, 24 tackles for loss coming in here tonight. 2nd down and 3. Brown's been a workhorse on this first drive, and that's the first time the Cougars have been able to slow him down as Lucas Sparks was in position.
And what they did on that play is they had a pre-snap shift. What that does is that makes the offensive linemen rethink their blocking scheme. You'll see a lot of trickery tonight.
Third down at 4. Bertel dropping back, setting up the screen. It's Brown again. He is inside the 10, and the stiff arm gets him to the 8. Eric Dunton knocked him out of bounds right there.
And what they're doing now, they're using the aggressiveness of the St. Francis defense against them. You get pressure up the field. You see Bertel deliver the football to Brown, and he's able to get positive yards. That's what you want to do. Use their aggressive play against them.
So it's third down at 6. Baker, incomplete. First time that Bertel's pass has not been caught, intended for Boos, and it's fourth down. The field goal crew will come on.
And Himmelgarn got pressure just enough to not allow Bertel to set his feet on that throw.
So our first field goal attempt of the night. This is Clarence Clark. He is also a receiver for these talented Wildcats. He was a second-team All-American place kicker this year. Has had an absolute outstanding fall. This is a 26-yard attempt from the right hash, and the kick is up and good. So the Baker Wildcats go down the field and register points. Just a sample of how fast and how productive this offensive unit can be.
Well, for St. Francis, you can look at this as a positive. Baker was able to drive the football down the field, but when they got into the red zone, the St. Francis defense was able to tighten up and not allow them to get the 7 points. So you look at this as a moral victory for the defense. Later in that drive, you saw Eric Himmelgarn able to get pressure, number 98, up the middle of that defense. They did some shifting late in that drive on the defensive line prior to the snap. I think we'll see that often in this ball game to try to confuse the offensive lineman from Baker.
The Wildcats finished the regular season 11-0, ran right through the playoffs. And how about that game to get here for us, defeating Eastern Oregon 45-41. That game was 2 weeks ago, and Baker, they trailed late in that game 41-24.
Well, it's interesting. Coach Donnelly said he slept like a baby, waking up every hour crying, thinking about facing this offense and preparing for it. So you know what you're coming into this ball game and dealing with. And I think that helped this team kind of figure it out and say, okay, we faced everything that you possibly can. So for this offense, they know that they can get it done no matter where the chips may fall.
They are so explosive. So the Wildcats to kick it off. Justin Green and Charles Gadsden back to receive it for St. Francis. And this ball is going to be taken at the 8-yard line. This is Justin Green. He has got crazy speed, just like that across the 40. And for St. Francis, he is the counter to Cornell Brown. Green just having a fabulous postseason. Well, Nick Ferrer, there he is, junior quarterback, 48 touchdowns this season. His completion rate over 60%. He is like a coach on the field, and this guy has got the green light to do what he wants all night long. Only 9 interceptions on the year. Threw for 353 yards and 6 touchdowns in round 1 against Missouri Valley. So first down for the Cougars, and we're going to blow this one dead. As we continue play, 3 wideouts in the game for St. Francis. And they'll run the football. This is Justin Green. Green is taken out of bounds. That's a short pickup. We want to tell you about the Waste Pro starting lineups on the Cougars side. Solid offensive line, good run blockers. They've improved in pass protection here in this postseason. And as we said in the open, keep an eye on number 11, Seth Coe, but also Justin Green is going to be tough to stop here on this field. There's Coe. 74 catches coming into this championship game. It's 2nd down and 9, 3 wideouts, and they hand it to Green once more. Justin Green's got that burst, and he'll take tacklers to the 47-yard line. Solid pickup. And that's going to be about 3rd down and 2 coming up. Picked up 7.
And what I like about the way Green runs the football, when he's going east and west, it always seems like he's moving forward. He's one of those silky smooth runners, and he has elusive speed and power. It's one of those plays, or one of those players where you don't really think he's running that fast until you get up there and try and make the tackle.
Cougars make a few adjustments on 3rd and 2. Ferrer just turns around, hands it to Green, and he is going to be stopped short. That's a great job by the Wildcats plugging up that middle, and it's 4th down.
And right in the middle of all of that is the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, Josh Cope, number 97 at 6 feet, 260 pounds. He has the ability to get under the offensive lineman, and the low man always wins because he has all of the leverage.
17 tackles for loss this year for Josh Cope. He is a handful, but 4th down, and it looks like St. Francis going to go for it.
And this is why the offensive line needs to dig in, get on the 4-point stance, and you basically want to bear crawl. You've got to be the low man to win at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack.
Try and run it again. And this opens up a hole to the 30, the 20. Jason Nicodemus is inside the 5. 1st and goal, Cougars.
And this is what happens when you get everybody inside the box to try and stop the short yardage run. There's nobody at the second level. You see Nicodemus get through the seam. There's nobody there. You've got defensive backs coming from the other side of the field trying to make the tackle. Nicodemus is a no-frills downhill runner. When he gets it, there's no dancing. He's going north and south.
Eventually stopped by Hayden Jenkins. Cougars have it from the 2. A chance to score the first touchdown of this game. It's Nicodemus one more time, and it's going to be stood up at the line of scrimmage. But you see, he keeps on fighting. Maybe able to get about a half yard out of that, but not much more. Keep in mind, this St. Francis offense, they put a 79 spot on Missouri Valley in round 1 of the playoffs, so they can score a lot of points as well. Coming averaging 43 points per game. As you take a look at Karan Brown, the senior linebacker. Wildcat formation now for the Cougars. They direct snap it, and this one's trouble from the get-go. Well, the Wildcat eaten up by the Wildcats. Avery Parker, the first man there.
And a good job by Mikeese Adams to get pressure up the field and allow his teammates to bring pursuit. Watch Mikeese Adams, number 8. You see right there, he didn't make the tackle, but he got up the field and allowed his teammates to get to the football. And once they were, Avery Parker's Johnny on the spot to make the tackle.
So 3rd down and goal. Ferrer back in the game after that play blows up. And now the Cougars will try and spread them out one more time. Keep an eye, Seth Coate, bottom of your screen. This is his territory. They look his way and say, go get it. Touchdown, St. Francis.
And they got the matchup that they wanted. Avery Parker, teams pick on him because of his size. At 5'9", there's a distinct height advantage. That's a 6-inch height advantage. So all Ferrer did was throw the football up, allow Coate to make a play on it, and you see Coate is able to high point the football. Avery Parker never had an opportunity to make a play on that football.
That ball perfectly placed. And the Cougars have an early lead. Extra point on the way, Ryan Nix. 7-3 out of the gates here in the 2016 NAIA National Championship. Ferrer to Seth Coate, his favorite target. St. Francis on top.
Can you hear me?
You can hear me? I can't. Do you know, is it this one?
I don't know.
I don't know which one it is. Okay.
The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at NAIA.org.
Establishing the family base camp on Daytona Beach is a time-honored ritual. Obsessive? Maybe. Scientific? Definitely. But absolutely authentic. On the original American beach.
At the University of Saint Francis, you will engage in real-world experience.
The META program has given me experience in a way that's unique to only META students. You get to work with people not in your major, you get to work on real-world projects. Not every university has programs that you can go out in the world and start making work now, and you wouldn't have that in any other program.
Interested in getting real-world experience before you graduate? The META experience is available to all USF students. Apply today at admissions.sf.edu.
Daytona Beach is the perfect place for families who want to kick their vacations up a notch. The fun, the excitement, everything you feel is real. Really real. On the original American beach.
Welcome back here to Daytona Beach. St. Francis gets on the board with a touchdown, and for Seth Code, that's the 27th straight game where he has gotten into the end zone. One of the great streaks in NAIA football. So how about the Cougars? They withstand the furious first drive for Baker, hold them to a field goal, and then get 7 of their own.
And now Baker has to answer back, and they've got to put 7 on the board.
All right, Nix to kick it off for the Cougars. Out to a fast and furious start here tonight in Daytona Beach. This one taken from out of the end zone and up to the 24-yard line by Damon Nolan.
And you know, Drew, throughout this week, when we've been around both teams, St. Francis kind of seemed like they were slighted. They felt a little bit slighted with Bertel and everyone talking about the powerful and explosive Baker offense. And you kind of see it early in this ball game. It's been a little chippy. And you see it early, and you see the St. Francis team come out with a little bit of an attitude. They bowled up, and they were able to shut them down inside the red zone. Let's see if that continues to happen.
From the 24-yard line, 1st and 10. Bertel with time, but the pocket closes quickly. And call that the first sack of the game. That's Eric Hemmelgarn, the big sophomore.
And when you watch Hemmelgarn on film, he has great burst as a penetrator. He bursts off the line of scrimmage, so the guards, they have to be ready and prepared, and they have to be stout at the point of attack because he's a very powerful pass rusher.
So call it a loss of 6. And now 2nd and 16. Bertel stands in again. They rush 4. Goes to the short route and taken up to the 27-yard line. You know, Logan Bertel, he was awarded that honor last night, best player in NAIA this year, but he said for us, this is not the trophy that we came here for. And I think maybe that stirred the pot a little bit with this St. Francis ball club.
Absolutely. The St. Francis team kind of made some noise and growled a little bit when he made that statement. So that makes it for an interesting ball game this evening.
3rd down and 7. Cougar fans calling for defense. 4-man rush again. Bertel tries for the home run, and there's nobody home.
And right now, this defense has the Baker offense on their heels. They're bringing pressure from the outside. On that play, they got pressure right up in Bertel's face. he got rid of the ball prematurely, and there may have been some miscommunication because there was no receiver in the area that the football was thrown.
Saw Nashawn Lewis coming off the field. And a punting situation for the Wildcats. So Baker not used to punting the football often. Jacob Tompkins, second team all-conference and the Heart of America Conference for the Wildcats. So Coach Grossner wants to continue to play fast pace, keep these Cougars on their heels, but St. Francis able to stand their ground here in the first quarter up to this point. Sean Boswell is back to return for St. Francis. High kick and a fair catch called for. He'll make it at the 36-yard line. A late flag comes down after the play. You know, that is something that I think St. Francis is hanging their hat on, the fact that the Mid-States Football Association, their conference, has crowned 4 of the last 5 NAIA champions. They feel like they play the best competition year in and year out. David White's our head referee tonight.
Illegal block in the back on the receiving team, number 21. 10-yard penalty, first down, timeout.
So we'll step aside. St. Francis with the football, 1st and 10 when we come back.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at NAIA.org.
Establishing the family base camp on Daytona Beach is a time-honored ritual. Obsessive? Maybe. Scientific? Definitely. But absolutely authentic. On the original American beach.
At the University of Saint Francis, you will engage in real-world experience.
The META program has given me experience in a way that's unique to only META students. You get to work with people not in your major, you get to work on real-world projects. Not every university has programs that you can go out in the world and start making work now, and you wouldn't have that in any other program.
Interested in getting real-world experience before you graduate? The META experience is available to all USF students. Apply today at admissions.sf.edu.
Daytona Beach is the perfect place for families who want to kick their vacations up a notch. The fun, the excitement, everything you feel is real. Really real. On the original American beach.
Welcome back to the 61st NAIA Football National Championship presented by Waste Pro. Drew Felios and Forrest Connolly. Gorgeous night here in Daytona Beach. St. Francis 7-3 over Baker. Baker, the only remaining unbeaten team in NAIA football. St. Francis has got their attention here early. Ferrer back to throw. Goes downfield and just overshoots everybody as the ball is intended for Monte McDowell.
And I tell you something interesting about Ferrer. Coach Donnelly talked about him being the best arm he's ever coached. Ferrer can get the ball down the field off of his back foot. His arm is that strong. He doesn't have to step into throws. So if Baker's able to get pressure on him and in his face, he still has the ability to get the ball down the field.
Yeah, Coach Donnelly's coached a lot of quarterbacks over the years, and it's near 4 decades as a head coach. But he says Ferrer is the best of the bunch. There goes Justin Green, and Green's going to take it up for 8. At the 27-yard line, about 3rd down, a little more than 1 coming up. Coach Donnelly, just an interesting character. This is a guy who still makes the game fun. After all the years that he has been in it, his players absolutely love playing for him. Say he always just keeps it fresh, keeps it light for us.
You just got to love playing for a coach like that. He keeps the game live, and you have to continue to progress with your players.
So 3rd down for the Cougars. Ferrer looks to his left and dumps it off to a wide open Nicodemus. And how about Jason Nicodemus early on in this game, establishing himself as a factor?
Well, Nicodemus is the 3rd and 4th down short yardage back. And what he did on that play, he got to the outside in the flat. Nobody went with him. Good job by Ferrer reading where the pressure was coming from and dumping the ball off to Nicodemus.
Nicodemus came in with only 23 catches on the year and 2 touchdowns, but he's showing he can do a little bit of everything. Another 1st down for St. Francis. Fake it to Green. Ferrer will stand in, and he'll be sacked for the first time tonight. That's big number 52 getting in there. Nick Becker is someone we really need to talk about.
And if it's one thing that Ferrer does that gives him problems, is he's one of those standstill quarterbacks. He's not going to move around a whole lot in the pocket. You see him right here. He's not really moving around. He doesn't have that escapability that you see on the other side with Bertel, which allows defensive players like Nick Becker to get in there and get on him.
So that's a loss of 3. And now Ferrer will toss to his right quickly. Hits Coate in stride. Look at the moves by Seth Coate. He dodges 2 tacklers, gets 4, and a 3rd down and 9 coming up.
And Coate can do it all. He's a big receiver at 6'3", and we talked about his ability to go up and get the football. But like I said before, I like his ability after the catch, what he does when he's got the football in his hands. He is capable of getting yards after the catch and yards after contact.
Had a great time talking to Coate last week. Such an intelligent player for St. Francis. 3rd down and long, though. Gegner in motion, and now they'll fire it once more. A 1st down catch made at the 40-yard line. That's McDowell, the senior out of Indianapolis.
And number 87, Zach Gegner, got everyone's attention. He came behind the formation and up the sideline. Everyone paid attention to him. Nobody paid attention to the other receiver in the scene. McDowell, he's able to get the 1st down.
It's almost like we're seeing 2 different types of receiver tonight. On one side, big and physical in St. Francis, and on the other, smaller, quicker, more elusive. Another good drive by the Cougars. Here's Green. Look at him work his way upfield as he gets 8 more.
And once again, when Green is running the football, he's very slippery, and when he's bouncing it, he always seems to be moving forward. That's that deceptive speed. And when he gets to the 2nd level, that's when it becomes a problem, because you've got to wrap up because he is very slippery.
There's the numbers on Justin Green. What you're seeing tonight is the culmination of 2 programs that have just dedicated everything to this sport over the past year. They both just talked about the off seasons and the preparation coming in.
And talking about stepping up, he's averaging 140 more yards in the playoffs than he did in the regular season.
This time, though, he's going to be cut down as Becker once again able to plug that hole. So the senior from Eudora, Kansas, with the nice play, and it's 3rd down again. So Becker, one to keep an eye on defense. Also Koch and Nick Shondell as well, the senior nose tackle. Lots of options here on 3rd and 4.
And if I'm Baker, I'm going to make sure I shade a safety over to the side that Seth Coate is on.
Coates lined up at the bottom of the screen. Ferrer looks at him. And what he'll fire to the slot guy, the ball was tipped up and it's caught. Akeem Kelsaw came down with it, and it should be good enough for a St. Francis first down.
And to win a championship, you've got to be good, but you've also got to have some luck. And you see on this play, the ball bounces off of Zach Gegner, and Kelsaw is right there, Johnny on the spot to make the catch, and he reaches out to make sure he gets the first down.
The 36th catch of the year for Akeem Kelsaw, and it was a dandy. Austin Jackson. Little concerned, also have not called Akeem Francis's name, number 15, the top linebacker for Baker just yet. Another first down. Pump fake. Ferrer has got to get rid of that. Gets out of trouble though, keeps the play alive, and this time just throws it away. So didn't like his first option, tried to go to his second, but it wasn't there, and I think that's a very smart play.
Absolutely, and Ferrer is able to escape the pocket, get outside the tackle box, get the ball down past the markers to avoid getting a penalty on that play. Good job by Ferrer. Now what you've got to do if you're Baker, you've got to continue to watch Seth go. He's out the ball game now, so you've got to be weary of a trick play. You've got to make sure that you've got everything covered on the outside.
2nd and 10 now. 3 wide receivers. Try and run it once more. The running game's been working for the Cougars. And a good job of fighting by P.J. Dean. He takes it to the 22. And let's take a look and size up that Baker defense. This has been a stingy group. They've been scored on this year, but when they really need a stop, they've been able to come up with those big plays at the perfect times.
Well, this is the 12th play of this drive, and what you're seeing from Baker now, some guys with their hands on their hips, so they're a little bit gassed right now. This is what St. Francis wants to do. When guys are gassed, that's when they give up a big play. So they've got to be careful. They've got to play their 111th. Make sure you do your job.
Big play here on 3rd and 5. Baker's not been able to get the football back and possess it much after the first drive. A flag down here. That offensive line for St. Francis, Alex Woods, the left tackle. Also got Holcomb at left guard. Brian Ginger, though, the center for us. He's the guy that makes it happen. Number 66 in the middle of that line in blue and white here tonight.
Absolutely. He makes all the calls for the offense. He's the best pass blocker. You rarely see the center being the best pass protector. But when you've got a quarterback that's not very mobile, it's good for the center to be that best pass protector because no one is getting in the quarterback's face.
3rd down and 10 after the 5-yard penalty. Ferrer sets his feet and fires, dropped at the 12. Oh, had his man wide open, and that's one that McDowell's definitely going to want to have back.
And McDowell was looking at number 4, Nate McLaurin, closing in on him, and I think he wanted to brace for the contact as opposed to get possession of the football. You've got to get possession of the football, especially in a ball game like this where you've got a drive going. That would have extended this drive.
So with the ball spotted at the 27-yard line, here comes Ryan Nix on to attempt a 45-yard field goal.
And even if they get the field goal, that was a very good hold by this Baker defense that were on their heels.
Call it about 44.5 yards. And we'll have a timeout on the field. Saw Nix's long, only 35 on the season.
Timeout, St. Francis. First charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
So when we come back, a field goal attempt by St. Francis. The Cougars leading and looking to extend that lead next. those chickens.
Chicken's really good.
You need me too? Okay, give me a second. Yes. Yeah, I can do that.
Seconds back, just gonna have a pretty sad. It was a beautiful day here in Daytona, and the team's had a great time. 20 back.
And Baker said he was down on the sideline. We'll check it over.
10 seconds.
Back here in Daytona Beach, where it was just a perfect day. Both teams and their fans had a chance to enjoy the awesome beaches here in Daytona. And now a championship atmosphere at Municipal Stadium. It's a 44-yard field goal try by Ryan Nix, and it's good.
And although St. Francis scored on that play, Baker did a good job of not allowing them to extend that drive where it looked like the defense was on their heels. Everybody was gassed. That was about a 13-14 play drive. Good job by the defense to hold.
How about Ryan Nix? He continues to be a great story for St. Francis. You know, Mr. Nix in the offseason was riding his bike and was hit by a car, wound up on the hood of that car, and wound up okay. Came out with hardly a scratch.
He's a tough guy. He's a football player. People always say kickers aren't football players. They're tough guys as well, so I love it. And you see him hit a career long today. So what a game to hit a career long kick in the championship game.
Well, the senior class for Coach Kevin Donnelly, hoping to produce one more great memory for him here tonight. A national championship. His record in national title games, only 1-3. Won the one when he was at Georgetown back in Kentucky. But he is 0 for 3 coaching for St. Francis from 2004 to 2006. They made it here 3 years in a row. Came up empty.
And what's interesting, he won that championship 25 years to the day. So how interesting is that?
Well, so far, St. Francis doing all the right things. In the first quarter, Nix the big field goal, and now he gets set to put it in the air. Drew Felios, Forrest Conley, and Kristen Bedard down on the field. We got a great crew here tonight as well. And Daytona, hope you're enjoying it. Ball taken at the goal line. And this is Nolan one more time. He's got good speed, takes it up to the 32, and that's where the Baker offense will start. And we have not been able to really see the Wildcats get in stride because St. Francis doing such a good job of possessing the football. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
And what I expect from Baker now is to spread out this St. Francis defense, get the ball to your playmakers in open space, allow those guys to make plays with their feet.
First down for the player of the year in NAIA, Logan Bertel. And the Wildcats. Bertel winds up, tosses where he's got Nolan. And Nolan able to get to the outside and nearly busted free. So he got ankle tackled near midfield by Harnish, who made the play.
And this is where they're at their best. They get the first down, they line up on the football, they're ready to go when the ref places the ball down and moves out the way. That's what you have to do. You cannot allow St. Francis to get subs in the ball game.
That was Terrell Holman actually who got him by the ankles. Trying to speed things up. This is Quanzi Johnson, and The Cougars doing a good job of keeping everything in front of them here in the first quarter.
But the problem with that, Drew, is when you keep everything in front of you, you're now giving space to these playmakers. And that's what they want. They want to get possession of the football, be in the open field with you in front of them so they can make the play in the open field. That's the danger of playing this type of defense.
And these Wildcats so tough to tackle when they get in space. For instance, look at Cornell Brown and what he can do. Down to the 40. That's another first down, picked up 15.
And when you play this type of defense, you see everything happening, but you're so deep. You see Brown right here. He gets to the third level before he sees a defender. You cannot play that type of defense if you're going to get stops against this offense.
Bertel wants to fire it downfield. He's got a receiver over the middle. It's caught by Boos as he takes a defender inside the 5-yard line. The second effort puts him in range, and now first and goal for the Wildcats.
And this is what happens when you've got athletes running all over the field. With Bertel and his intelligence, he's going to see where the opening is. He hits his receiver down the seam, Boost, and Boost does a good job of showing balance and staying on his feet and possibly getting almost to the end zone.
There is a flag on the play, though. And this one is going to come back. They got a hold on one of the offensive linemen, I believe. So a big play for Baker, the best of the game, going to be coming back, and that's a huge, huge loss for the Wildcats.
It's a huge loss, but I think they've found a little bit of a rhythm in this drive. They've had positive plays on every play outside of this penalty.
Coach Grossner couldn't believe it. Barely get the playoff. No, they're going to blow this dead, so this play is not going to count. The official on the near side says the clock had winded down. And that will be the end of the quarter. So a very interesting start here in Daytona Beach. 10-3 after one. You're watching the 2016 NAIA National Championship.
See the Sun Belt, Drew?
Hey, good first quarter, guys. Drew, when we come back, we need to tag for Billboard Daktronics. It's number 3.
So fast, shouldn't do that.
.30 back, right to the billboard, Reed. Back.
Awesome. Thank you, bud.
5 seconds.
I don't care what they say about you. You're a great spot. The NAIA National Championship is brought to you by Daktronics, the NAIA's official scoreboard, timer, video message center, and statistical provider. The Wildcats out of Baker on the move, but they trail 10-3 after one quarter. Drew Felios and Forrest Conley will be checking in with Kristen Bedard pretty soon. Forrest, how do you like what you see so far?
Well, I think for Baker, they've got to continue the rhythm that we saw going into the second quarter at the end of the first quarter. For St. Francis, They look faster right now on the field. They look more aggressive. But the Baker offense has seemed to wake up.
So first down and 20 after the penalty for the Wildcats. Going to sling this out to Brown. And that is the plan. Get Cornell Brown in space. He's actually a running back, but he looks kind of like a slot receiver. He does so much offensively.
Well, he's a converted receiver, and I think that's why you see his ability in the open field. Once again, Cornell Brown gets the football. He gets north and south very quickly, and he's very shifty, and I think that's what makes him so effective.
Bertel to throw. He's in trouble, and he's going down. Second sack of the game for the Cougars. Again, right there, it's the big man, Hemmelgarn.
And Hemmelgarn is a very powerful pass rusher. He is a bull rusher. He runs right up. You see him right here, right in the middle of offensive line. He just runs through the offensive lineman, the center. Newt Holden had no chance at 5'10". He's not that tall. He's got to get up under Hemmelgarn at 6'5", and he's got to try and use his leverage to not allow himself to be overpowered.
How about third down and more than 20? Bertel gonna try and send a prayer off here, and it's incomplete. Holman was right there as the intended target was Boos. So you get the big splash play by Hemmelgarn, and that completely blows up another Baker drive.
Well, what you're looking at is a 6'3", 263-pound average on the defensive line for St. Francis versus a 6'1", 279-pound average on the offensive line for Baker. And the bigger guys are winning at the point of attack right now. They're using their length to get to Bertel and not allow him to get comfortable back there. And the one thing about Bertel that the coaching staff said is he can hang his head at times when things get tough because he's such a perfectionist. Let's see if that continues to affect him as the game progresses.
No fair catch called for that time. A very short return. Sean Boswell rolling the dice for St. Francis. But another defensive stand. Cougars get the ball back. 1st and 10 after this.
Establishing the family base camp on Daytona Beach is a time-honored ritual. Obsessive? Maybe. Scientific? Definitely. But absolutely authentic. On the original American beach.
In basketball, sound fundamentals and a well-thought-out game plan can mean the difference between reaching your goals or falling short. The same goes for investing. The Buffalo Funds are a family of no-load mutual funds based on sound investing fundamentals designed to help you reach your long-term goals. The fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses must be considered carefully before investing. The prospectus contains this and other important information about the Buffalo Funds, and it may be obtained by visiting buffalofunds.com. Read it carefully before investing.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at NAIA.org.
Daytona Beach is the perfect place for families who want to kick their vacations up a notch. The fun, the excitement, everything you feel is real. Really real. On the original American beach.
Welcome back to Daytona. St. Francis is leading Baker University 10-3. Well, at the first meeting of the year, St. Francis head coach Mike Donnelly asked his player, how big is your bucket? He wanted to focus on potential versus being overrated. He said whether your bucket is big or small, your job is to fill it so that it's overflowing. Coach Donnelly told his players you fill it with maximum effort on the field. And Drew, so far his players are filling their buckets both offensively and defensively.
All right, Kristen, that is a great point. Coach Donnelly finding so many ways to push his players' buttons throughout the season.
And once again, you're seeing a more aggressive St. Francis offense. They look a little bit faster, a little bit stronger. You see the size. They're taking advantage of every opportunity. They've got about a 33-pound weight advantage on their offensive line against the Baker defensive line, and they're using it.
Here's Justin Green, stonewalled at the line of scrimmage, but how about the job bouncing off of it and still picking up 3 more up to the 30.
And this is what starts to frustrate a defense. When you've got a guy stopped in the backfield, but he's able to be slippery and get off a would-be tackler and get positive yards. You see right here, Green is stopped right here in the backfield, but he continues to turn his feet. He bounces off. He still doesn't want to go down. And this is what frustrates a defense.
Yeah, you saw Nate McLaurin trying to bring him down back there. Nate wears number 4 tonight. He had 10 solo tackles against Eastern Oregon. Coach Grossner's team needs a stop here. Nick Ferrer doing just a masterful job quarterbacking this offense up to this point. They're getting great push up front as well. As that's 37, Aaron Harris, his first carry of the game. Adam Novak, 84, made the tackle.
And the coaches describe Aaron Harris as consistently tough. You see him able to bounce it to the outside, get the first down. That's what you want your backs to do. Have vision. When it's not where it's supposed to be, bounce it out. Find the seam. Get as many positive yards as you can.
Another fresh set of downs for St. Francis. Ferrer out of the shotgun, stands in. He's got all kinds of time and fires incomplete at the feet of Harris. There are 2 offensive coordinators for this St. Francis team. Patrick Donnelly is one. Trevor Miller is another. The coaching staff so talented on both sides here tonight.
Well, when you meet these coaching staffs, you're intrigued by both, and you don't want to see any one of them lose. You feel like both of them deserve to win with all the hard work that they've put in. And that's what makes it difficult when you watch or call or a part of a game like this.
2nd and 10 now. Run it again. Here's Justin Green. And he's pushed out right at the 37-yard line.
And once again, they've got Green stopped in the backfield, but he's able to get positive yards. That's why they call him electric slide. They said it looks like he glides when he runs the football.
And I guarantee you that's what Darian Winston was talking to him about. Winston wearing number 21 in black.
And we haven't called Seth Coates' name in a while. It'll be interesting to see if they try to go to him.
3rd down and 7. 4-man rush. Ferrer steps up, now keeps the play alive. Rush is coming, got to get rid of it. And it is incomplete. Well defended by Nate McLaurin. He went up and got high. Seth Coates was right there, but couldn't haul it in.
And a good job by the defensive line from Baker, not allowing Nick Ferrer to set his feet. I thought he had an opportunity to go to Zach Gegner on the sideline, but he wanted to go to his favorite target. And you see the playmaking ability of Coates trying to use that one hand to get up and get the football, but McLaurin did a good job of fighting him in the air and not allowing him to come down with the football.
Now Josh Spitnail comes on the field. This is the first punt of the game for St. Francis. Baker really needed that stop for momentum purposes.
And you know, Drew, coming into this game, we thought it would be a 1st to 50 ball game with the explosive offenses, but the defenses have come to play. Early on, both offenses seem to be moving the ball very effectively, but the defenses have kind of had that bend but don't break mentality.
There's Nolan back to receive. He's the best punt returner in the Heart of America Conference. Spitnail gets off a good one. Nolan from the 33. Makes another nice move. He is slippery. Line of scrimmage will be the 39-yard line. So Baker, the only remaining unbeaten team in NAIA football. Their last time playing for a championship, 1986. Tonight, 30 years later, looking for that elusive NAIA title.
At the University of Saint Francis, you will engage in real-world experience.
The Meta program has given me experience in a way that's unique to only Meta students. You get to work with people not in your major, you get to work on real-world projects. Not every university has programs that you can go out in the world and start making work now, and you wouldn't have that in any other program.
Interested in getting real-world experience before you graduate? The Meta experience is available to all USF students. Apply today at admissions.sf.edu.
Let's meet today's star players in waste collection and recycling. The pros at Waste Pro. Waste Pro is Florida-based and the fastest growing waste management company in the country. And when it comes to sustainability and environmental responsibility, no one cares for our communities like Waste Pro. Waste Pro, proud sponsor of the NAIA Football Championship.
Dr. Tom Osborne National Championship Trophy at stake tonight. 10-3 St. Francis over Baker. 11:05 left to go in the first half as Bertel fires. Johnson makes the catch, and he's got it up to midfield. And Forrest, you've been keeping an eye on the body language of Logan Bertel, Baker quarterback so far.
Well, when I talked to the coaching staff, Coach Grossner, I said, what is one thing if you could fix with Bertel, what would it be? He said, well, when things are not going quite right, he tends to hang his head because he's such a perfectionist. He's done a good job as the season has progressed, but that's something I want to keep an eye on because they've been in his face a lot. He's had some errant throws, and when you come off the season that he's come off of, you're winning all of these awards, Player of the Year, First Team All-American, Academic Player of the Year. All eyes are on you in the biggest game of your life.
But I got to give him a lot of credit last night at the banquet, crediting all his offensive linemen, all his skill players, just the epitome of team guy. And they are looking for him to lead the way tonight. So you're absolutely right. He struggles with that, but I think he makes up for it a lot of other ways.
Absolutely, and I love what he said at the end. He said, this is not the trophy that we came for. And you heard the growls from the St. Francis Ball Club, but he gave a shout out to his ATMs. You know, and I love that the ATMs, automatic touchdown machines, all of his wide receivers and running backs.
Here's Logan Bertel, the Player of the Year. Goes short with it, and Clarence Clark is going to be eaten up. The Cougars have that play to perfection. Spencer Coward was right there waiting for him. Also Harnish, the linebacker.
And that's what you want to do to ball carriers when they come across the middle. Punish them when they get possession of the football. Make them think about it. So when the ball comes their way again, they're looking around to see where the hit is coming from, and they get those alligator arms.
So that's the third straight drive where the Wildcats have to punt it away. Jacob Tompkins spending way more time on the field than Baker would like here in the first half. Tompkins trying to pin St. Francis back. This will be taken at the 3. Another one that probably could have and should have been a fair catch. But you look at what Sean Boswell, he's been kind of doing that all year long. Rolling the dice on special teams.
Well, guys want to make plays right now. This is the biggest the game that they've all been preparing for and waiting for. And sometimes you make the not so smart decision because you see the opportunity to make a play. But you can't fault guys because, like you said, Drew, this is something they've been doing all season. So don't go away from what got you here. Take the same girl to the dance that you've been dating all season.
So St. Francis, ball spot at the 10-yard line. They've had it for most of the first half. Ferrer turns around, hands it off, and look at Green once again. 11 more yards as he was hit at the 20-yard line by Nate McLaurin. Another first down.
And you see the silky smooth running style of Green. He's able to find the seam, and once he does, you see him plant that foot and get north and south quick. Deceptive speed, but he gets to the second level so fast.
Now this guy had 296 yards rushing against Morningside earlier this season. Had a 98-yard touchdown against Reinhardt in that last semifinal game. He has just been absolutely lethal as Coat tries to go up top, bring it down, but Darian Winston right there, and the ball was delivered a little bit high.
And I tell you what, if Coat brings that catch down, look at the effort on this. He had to be at least 3 feet off the ground, and the effort on that play.
Well, Forrest, you played at Florida State. You saw some talented pass catchers, Charlie Ward delivering it, Danny Cannell as well. You were just wowed at the skill players on both of these teams yesterday at the walkthrough.
Well, these guys have a no-quit mentality. I love what they do after the catch. That's what's most impressive about both of these ball clubs: the power, the speed, the agility, and the unwillingness to go down from an arm tackle from both sides of the football.
There's Green again, picks up about 5 more. McLaurin came up to make the hit. So another third down and manageable for St. Francis. Four wide receivers in the game for the Cougars. Now Gegner gets in position. Ferrer, the quick slant, and Coat gonna make the grab. They're gonna rule it was a catch at the 34-yard line and move the sticks again.
And you see Coat able to use his big 6'3" frame to give himself a target for Ferrer, and because he's so big, Nate McLaurin is not able to get around him to make a play on the football.
They say speed kills. So far, size has killed as well.
Absolutely.
First down, Cougars. Ferrer. Fake the jet sweep. All time to throw. Now tosses it to the sideline, and this is Kelsall. Went to about the 5th option, and he was waiting in the wings.
And when you're a defensive player like Nate McLaurin on that play, you've got to break down to make the tackle. You can't go flying up on the receiver, because if you do, you allow the receiver to make a play. Once again, you watch McLaurin. He flies, runs up, out of control at Kelsall. Once Kelsall gets the football, Kelsall is able to make a play. Now, see right here, you got to break down. You cannot run up there all willy-nilly. You got to break down and try and make that tackle.
Ends up being a gain of 5. Now the jet sweep to the left, Kelsall. Akeem Kelsall has been just a great story for St. Francis. This guy right here tore his Achilles last year. They thought he would quit football and just walk away, head off into the sunset. He said, decided to continue playing. He's had a fabulous season, 35 catches coming into the night and 6 touchdowns. That is the want-to that so many of these players have shown on this field tonight. Guys who could have said that's enough, but continued to pursue a national title. Third down, now they need 3. Down he goes. And that's the first time tonight that Austin Jackson has made his presence felt.
And he wanted to go with the short crossing route to Seth Coat, but Akeem Francis, number 15, stayed right in front of Coat, did not allow Ferrer to go anywhere with the football, which allowed pressure to get to him. Good job by everyone playing their 111. That is key in ball games like this. If Akeem Francis is not sitting there in front of Coat, you've got the short crossing route, and you've got a first down and possibly more positive yards.
The Baker defense able to get off the field. And now another punt for Spitnail. And this is going to be taken near the 20. Oh, nice hit. Made on special teams. We've got some good athletes here tonight, as that was Marcus Stepp coming up and getting a hat to the party. 10-3 your score. Baker offense trying to wake up when we return.
One minute back, I'm going to come back to a the Baker color sign, but this is all I want for Christmas.
Welcome back to Daytona Beach. All I want for Christmas, a national championship. It's not a lot to ask for. Baker trying to make history, do what they've never done in school history. So far have not really been able to get in gear offensively. They took the opening drive down the field, but since then they have sputtered. Logan Bertel will step up and fire it towards the sidelines. It's caught near midfield. And Clarence Clark going to be wrestled down right there.
And I wonder, did he step out of bounds and come back in bounds? If he did, he can't be the first person to touch the ball.
I think that's what happened.
Illegal touching of a forward pass by the offense, number 7. The penalty is loss of down at the previous spot, second down.
And the bad thing about that penalty is you also lose the down. So you get the yardage taken away from you, but you also lose the down, which puts them in a deficit once again.
So a tough break for Coach Grossner's team. Now they'll blow this dead again. You see the frustration from Logan Bertel as that whistle was blown.
False start, offense number 54. 5-yard penalty will be second down.
Right now, Baker has to refocus and get their heads in the ball game. Too many costly penalties are putting them deep in their own territory, and we're starting to get into a field position game. And when you've got both defenses playing as well as they are in a game like this, you cannot get into a field position game.
That pushes them back to the 22. A little delayed handoff this time, and not going to get much. Good job staying at home. Pearson Harnish, number 9, able to make the ankle tackle.
And because it's so long to get the first down, St. Francis can keep everything in front of them. They want to keep everything behind the sticks and just make the tackle.
3rd down and long. Bertel being put in some tough situations here in this game.
And the St. Francis defenders are going to play off the receiver. It's the receiver's job to make a play when they get the football.
Give it to Brown, but he is going to be cut down. Spencer Coward, the junior linebacker from Fort Wayne, denied.
And Coward did a good job of fighting through the blocker. They were trying to block him on the outside. You see him knock the blocker off. Good job by Coward. LeDay Booth tried to get a block on Coward, but Coward was able to shed that block and make the tackle. You've got to do your 111s. We talked about it, Drew. Do your job. If you do your job, you make for opportunities for your ball club.
There's the dangerous Boswell back to receive this Jacob Tompkins punt. Rush comes. Kick gets away. It's a high one and a good one. This one fair caught at the 30-yard line. So how about this St. Francis defense? I think they've been the story here in the first half.
Well, they've done a good job of affecting Logan Bertell, not giving him time to go vertical with the passing game. He's gotten some passes out in the flat, but he's not been able to go vertical. And when you look on the other side of the football, I think Baker's done a good job, albeit they've given up more points than St. Francis, but they've done a good job of not allowing Cope outside of that touchdown pass to really affect them and hurt them on the outside. They're bracketing him, they're shading coverage over to him, and they're not allowing him to make big plays.
Do you think, Forrest, that St. Francis, having lost a game, has a little bit of an edge coming into this one because Baker has not tasted defeat this year?
I would say that if Baker didn't have and go through the circumstances that they did last week, scoring 21 points in the last 5 minutes, I think that allowed this Baker team to taste almost what defeat would be like and go through something. When you lose a game, you go through something, and you have to regroup. And that team was able to regroup in the ball game in a win or go home ball game. So I think that allowed this team to face the adversity that they needed to face coming into this ball game.
So on that last play, Akeem Spence, number 15, and on the tackle for Baker. The Wildcats really need to get him going as he's making sort of a homecoming tonight to Central Florida. Second down now. Ferrer stands in the pocket again and tries to go down the middle with it, but a little too far for Cope. And we got a flag back near the line of scrimmage as we had a couple players mixing it up. Jacob Thomas had his helmet off.
It may be hands to the face on one of the offensive linemen.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 75. 15 yards from the previous spot. Number 51 can remain in the game even though his helmet was removed. Second down.
Forced as a former offensive lineman, how do you make sure your hands go where they're not supposed to go into the opponent's face mask?
Well, it's a hand fight for the offensive and defensive lineman, and sometimes your hands get up high. You want to keep your hands in the breastplate of the defensive player. But watch the left tackle, number 75. You see the spin move, and that's what happens because the defensive player is on his outside. He's trying to get leverage, and when he puts his head down, he didn't mean to get that. That's nothing malicious. I think his hand placement just got in the way of where the helmet was when the defensive end made the spin move.
Well, now it makes it a second down and 24, so it pushes the Cougars way back. And they'll try and get some of that yardage back with Nicodemus to the 21-yard line.
And I like this Nicodemus kid. He's pretty tough, 5'9", 204 pounds. He comes in on short yardage. He catches the ball out in the flat, and he does a very good job of getting positive yards.
And Nicodemus was singled out by Seth Coate. We talked to Coate last week, asked him, who are some of your favorite guys on the team? He said Jason Nicodemus, the first that comes to mind. Third down now, Ferrer will step up, fires it, and it is incomplete. Had his guy at midfield, but Zach Gegner took a shot.
And also number 21, Darian Winston, right there to make the hit as well. That's what you've got to do. When they come across that middle, you've got to make them pay for it. And they were clean hits, nothing above the shoulder pads, used their shoulders. They did not dive into the player. Great job by the defense to make a clean hit on the play. I think they hit themselves more so than they hit the receiver, but a good job breaking up the football and not allowing them to get that first down.
So Winston and Jenkins defending. And a Fourth down for St. Francis. This has turned into a defensive battle. The last type of game we thought we'd see coming into tonight. Here's Nolan again. And now Baker will take over with 2:27 left to play in the first half.
Well, both defenses have heard about the powerful offenses that they're going to face throughout the last 2 weeks, and both defenses have been preparing. And I think you see what preparation does. It allows you to come out and make plays. I still think that we have not seen the best of this Baker offense as well as the best of the St. Francis offense. We've seen remnants from St. Francis. They've been able to be powerful and move the football down the field, albeit penalties stopped that last drive. But for Baker, they just seem very frustrated right now on offense. They can't really get anything consistent going.
Bertel back on the field quickly. He was the first guy back. Cannot wait to rev up this Wildcats engine. They'll take it out just shy of the 45-yard line. This Baker offense has had a year for the record books. Look what they have produced. Over 5,000 total yards. Look at yards per game and total points scored. Second in the entire NAIA. That's not just great quarterback play. That is everybody being on the same page and just producing week after week. But anything but that is happening right now as Brown just dropped it. You know, they're going to a lot of those short throws for us. They're not attacking very much north and south right now.
Well, Bertel doesn't have time. When you look at Himmelgarn and his ability to get up the field with the pass rush, he's just using his strength and his brute power to run through the center. Newt Holden. Newt Holden is 5'10", 260 pounds. It's difficult when you've got a 6'5" guy running through you. They've got to double team him.
Here it comes again, and it's a turnover. Lucas Sparks is on the football, and St. Francis has got it back.
That is why they can't go down the field. They're getting pressure from the outside, pressure from up the middle. Logan Bertel cannot step up in the pocket. And when you watch the offensive tackles, they're giving up a short edge. You see right here to the outside, you cannot turn those shoulders. You've got to kick back 3 steps to keep the width of the pocket. The tackles are opening up those shoulders, reaching out for these quick defensive linemen. You cannot reach out because they're going to get around the edge and get to the quarterback. You cannot give up a short corner.
First down and 10 for the Cougars. So here's Nick Ferrer. Defense makes the big play. And now the offense hopes to reward them here. Justin Green up the middle, and there he goes. Green is going to score. Touchdown, St. Francis.
And throughout the evening, you've seen Green on the cusp of breaking one, on the cusp, and finally, he gets to the second and third level defenders, and you cannot arm tackle him. The deceptive speed, once again, you see his silkiness, the smoothness, the balance, the quickness, the ability to elude tacklers, and when he gets to the open field, you're not going to tackle him.
Justin Green has been a smooth operator here in the first half. Here's Nix's extra point. A 2-touchdown lead, St. Francis over Baker. The first play after a big play, the Cougars strike.
Look at the offensive line. You get pressure, you get guards up on the second level defenders. Green is not touched until he gets to the third level. Darian Winston, number 21, is the first to have an opportunity to make a play on him. You cannot be successful on defense if your strong safety is the first to have an opportunity to make a tackle on a running back.
Look at those postseason numbers. 296 I mentioned in that Morningside game. You run for nearly 300 in a playoff game. That nearly set an NAIA playoff record.
Well, here's a guy that averaged 60 yards a game during the regular season. And you talk about stepping up during playoff time. He's averaging 209 yards a game, over 140 plus yards in the playoffs from what he averaged in the regular season.
This St. Francis team knew last year when they lost in the semifinals that they had a chance to be pretty good in 2016. They stuck together, and tonight so far in this championship, they have owned it in the first half. Charles Gadsden leading the dance-off here on special teams.
and right now, St. Francis is very loose. And you've got a Baker team that may be a little tight. But once again, Baker was in this position late in the ball game last week in a win-or-go-home situation, and they were able to pull it out. So they know it's possible.
This ball's going to roll out of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. So the Baker offense will take over once again.
I think the difference in this ball game and last week's ball game is they've been stopped on offense, and I think they might be a little shell-shocked. A team that comes in averaging as many points as this Baker Ball Club does, only 3 points on the board right now. We're 2 minutes away from halftime. They may be a little shell-shocked right now.
Well, this team put up 89 points earlier this season. I mean, they nearly scored 100 against Culver Stockton. Then 73 on Central Methodist. Just gaudy numbers. I think you're right. You hit it right on the head. They have never seen what has happened to them here in the first half.
And we talked about it last night at the awards banquet, that defense, watching Patel win that Player of the Year award. That has to get you fired up. That's extra bulletin board material.
Here's Cornell Brown. Takes the ball out to the 37-yard line. Stopped there by Eric Dunton. And the Wildcats, they can get a score before the half. I think that would go a really long way. But keep in mind, it's St. Francis ball to start the second half. Empty backfield now for Brettel. Logan Bertel. Another pass, quickly reeled in by Johnson. Yeah, this is a team, keep in mind, that 2 weeks ago scored 3 touchdowns in the final 5 minutes of play to get here.
So it can be done. But once again, the difference is their offense has been shut down the entire first half so far. They've had a couple of big plays. Well, I wouldn't even say big plays, but very positive plays.
Here's
they haven't
Patel,
had the big play.
Taken off. That's the first time tonight he's tried to do it with his legs, and he picks up a first down at the 45-yard line.
And that's what needs to happen. Patel has to take over this ball game as the leader of this offense. He doesn't see what he likes, and I think that was a designed quarterback draw. He took 2 steps back, the hole opened up, and he was able to get the first down.
Another quick throw. They're just sitting on those routes. That's Nashawn Lewis that time. And it's going to draw a flag. This could be a targeting penalty.
Or either taunting, but I think Clarence Clark, number 7, has to do a better job of blocking on the outside. It may be taunting.
Well, if it is understandable, it's been a very emotional game up to this point. Let's get the call.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 8. It'll be a 15-yard penalty to number 8's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game. First down.
Let me ask you this, Forrest. Right now, St. Francis revved up. We're going to see the hit and the taunt after. You saw the dancing before the kickoff. Is it a little much, or still just don't change anything, keep playing emotional ball?
Well, you see it right there. Nashawn Lewis getting the extra push on the player when he's already down. You've got to maintain your head and understand it's not about you. It's about the team and the overall goal.
Here's Bertel trying to go up top. Just fired it a little bit too far. Nolan was the intended target. And I think that a product of maybe sensing that rush for the Cougars.
And I tell you what, Bertel had a receiver open on the outside. It almost looked as though he predetermined where he wanted to go with the football. But I thought he had a receiver. I think it was Cornell Brown maybe on the outside.
Mic check, mic check.
Here's Bertel again. And his receivers right now are just getting decked. That's Spencer Coward again, the second big hit he's had in this first half.
And this is exactly what you want to do when a receiver comes across the middle. You got to make them pay for it.
Timeout, Baker. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
This is a hard-hitting secondary for the Cougars tonight, and they have teed off on Cornell Brown and company.
And once again, it's a clean play, shoulder pad to shoulder pad.
Correction, this is a full timeout. A full timeout by Baker.
Good job by the St. Francis player not getting a bad hit, what's deemed a dirty hit on that play. Spencer Coward, he put his shoulder pad on Cornell Brown's shoulder pad. That's what you want to do. You want to make these offensive players pay for it when you come across the middle. It doesn't have to be a dirty hit. Too often we see guys, launching themselves into someone to try and make a big hit, or hitting above the shoulder pads, or using a forearm. No, use form tackling. Use your shoulder pads. Hit their shoulder pads. They're not looking or seeing where the hit is coming from, so you're going to get that big play. And that's what you want to do. You want to remind them every time you touch the ball on these short crossing routes, we're coming for you.
Defensive coordinators for the Cougars, Joey Didier and Eric Wagner, on the staff of Kevin Donnelly. Coach Donnelly pointed out several of his players and how they have turned the corner. Guys like Shannon Swain, he wears number 18 here tonight. Now they have taken on leadership roles here at the perfect time, and how everybody is just playing as a team. The chemistry on this Cougars club is the best that Coach Donnelly has ever seen. So third down and a little more than 12. Logan Bertel has 51 touchdown passes this year, but has not been able to get his team into the end zone yet tonight. Bertel tries to take off once more. Just not a lot of time to work with, and that's exactly what the Cougar D wants, as Dutton was there to slow him down again.
What this defense is doing to Bertel, they're making him think. Once he gets the football from the center, he feels pressure immediately, and he's taking off.
So in this situation, less than a minute left. Let's see what the Wildcats try and do here. Do they try the field goal with Clarence Clark, or are they going to call a timeout, maybe try and pick up this first down? Let's see. I think they're going to let the clock go down to 1 here.
And he wants to make sure if he doesn't get the first down, he doesn't leave a lot of time on the clock for St. Francis.
This is one of those games where you've got to do.
Baker, this will be a 30-second timeout. Second charge timeout of the half.
You got to do a heck of a coaching job, because talking with the Cougar staff in St. Francis, and just got the sense for us that they felt like there were some matchups on the field that they could exploit coming into this championship game tonight. Coach Donnelly was very tight-lipped, though, for us. You tried to get some specifics. Didn't get much, but Coach Donnelly said, we feel like there are some areas we can really take advantage, and we're seeing that here.
Well, the one thing he did say is the defensive line, he felt he had an advantage, and you see the size advantage. And I think Eric Himmelgarn has been the difference at 6'5", 288 pounds. They put him over the center, Newt Holden, at 5'10". So you've got about a 7-inch height advantage and about a 28-pound weight advantage. And when you've got those long arms and you're getting on top of that center, the center has to worry about getting the ball to the quarterback. Then you've got this big monster on top of you bringing a burst of pressure.
So this will be a 42-yard field goal try by Clarence Clark. Hit his first one of the game. Can he be 2 for 2 here? Gets a good foot into it, but just not enough. Going to be short. So the Cougars will take over. First down with 24 seconds left to play in the half. It had the trajectory in the right spot, just not enough leg. And Forrest, I heard that yesterday when you visited the St. Francis walkthrough, Coach Donnelly asked you if you had any eligibility remaining. Did you take him up on that or what?
I told him I got one play from the 1-yard line. We'll get the touchdown, but they're going to have to come out there and get me off the field with a trainer, a manager, and a physician.
Those days long gone. Well, for St. Francis, the first half could not have gone much better than it did. Coach Donnelly's game plan executed to perfection. 17-3, a 2-touchdown lead over the Baker Wildcats. Nick Ferrer on the first drive took his team down the field, hit his favorite target, Seth Code, for the touchdown. And then it was a big dose of Justin Green after that. He busted 3 and scored just a few minutes ago. So 17-3 is your halftime score, and Baker's got some questions they got to answer here in the second half. Let's send it down on the field, though. Kristen is with Kevin Donnelly.
Well, Coach, on that very first drive of the game, you went for it on 4th down. It eventually led to the first touchdown of the game. How did that call help your team settle in?
Well, we've been a 4th down. We've done very well 4th down conversions, so felt like we had the tool at that time to use it, and it was a big momentum change at that point.
Well, I think everyone expected an offensive show, but it's really been the defense that has stood out. How has your defense been able to contain this explosive Baker offense?
They're just playing hard. They're playing very hard, giving some coverage variation, which is creating some indecision for the quarterback.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Kristen. The legend, Kevin Donnelly, his St. Francis team. They're up 17-3 after one half of play. Halftime festivities coming up from the 2016 NAIA National Championship in just a moment.
Well, guys, joining me on the field is President of Baker University, Dr. Murray. Now, Dr. Murray, how has it been like so far leaving the cold and getting to enjoy sunny Florida for some football?
It's been wonderful. As a matter of fact, we're so proud of all the fans in Baldwin City who came down to join us here. We have generations of alumni who have joined us, and it's been a record-breaking year. First time in 30 years that Baker University's made it here to Daytona, so we're thrilled to be here.
So thrilled. Like you said, you travel well. I can't help but see all the alumni photos, and Coach Grosner has talked about his staff and how he likes to keep it within loyalty. How much does that mean to you as a president of a university?
It means everything. As a matter of fact, we bleed orange at Baker University, and from our coaches to our faculty to our alumni, and they don't just show up. Our alumni give money to scholarships. They create internships and jobs for our students. So it's amazing. And one of the things that people ask me is, how is Baker distinct? Let me tell you this, Baker University is like family, and you're talking about how cold it is in Kansas. I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to the Overtime Bar and Grill, where our family and our friends are there watching, and right in Baldwin City at the Wooden Spoke. Thank you, I know you're here with me in spirit, and it means a lot. It's Baker University.
Well, I'm so glad we were able to bring this game back to them in Baker University. But this game, we heard all week long about how powerful Logan is behind quarterback. Offense has been a little sluggish. Give me your best coach talk for what to expect in the second half.
Don't ever underestimate us. If you watch the last 5 minutes of the Eastern Oregon game, you know that we've got character and we've got heart, and it ain't over till it's over, and we don't like to lose. So we're still in it. And as a matter of fact, let me tell you, Logan Bertel is a winner on and off the field. His grade point average is 3.8. And for those of you back home who don't know, he was just voted the NAIA Player of the Year. So we're so proud of him and all of the team and the work that they've made and the efforts they put forth to be here.
And you mentioned it's been quite a long time since this university has even played for a national championship. What would it be like to go home with one tonight?
It would be epic, and we certainly intend to do it. So it would be record-breaking for a team that has broken all records at Baker. As a matter of fact, we have Clarence Clark, and he is already the highest-scoring football player in the history of Baker University. So stay tuned if you're watching.
Well, there's definitely a rich tradition, but they're hoping to add one more, especially to that trophy case. We'll send it up to you guys. All right, so 2 minutes till Sister Elise. Sounds good. Okay. All right. So we'll do the field this time and get your fans.
All right. Oh, all right.
So we'll slide. We'll go this way.
All right.
We don't want orange behind you.
No. NAIA would be all right.
Hi, Bree. I don't necessarily know where power would be. How about now that we're stepping closer to the field, does that help? Okay, yeah, I don't necessarily see it, but Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. 17-3. Got it. Welcome back to halftime here in Daytona Beach. St. Francis leads Baker University 17-3. And joining me is president of St. Francis University, Sister Elise.
Thank you.
Now, we have to start with this. For those of you at home, she is the founder of St. Francis football. So, Sister, what made you want to start a football program at St. Francis University?
Well, there was no football in the city of Fort Wayne and nothing around for college football. So we thought, well, maybe this is a hole we can fill. And we had great support from the city, from our campus, from all the fans that now join us for Cougar football on Saturday afternoons.
Well, and it's turned into quite a powerhouse with Kevin Donnelly at the helm. You guys call him the father of football there. What has it been like having him as the head coach?
It's been wonderful. He's a great person, a great leader with the players, and we were a little worried about that. How are we going to get the right leadership? It's his program. He loves Fort Wayne. He wanted to start a program of his own, which that's what it is. So he got to start from scratch instead of having to take a program on and build it. So we let it be his, and he's done a great job, and we all love him in Fort Wayne.
So last night at the NAIA banquet, we learned that Sister Elise has her very own bobblehead. Who came up with that idea? And please tell me you have one sitting on your desk.
I do. I have a couple in my office, and one with Kevin Donnelly next to me, because actually the Kevin Donnelly bobblehead was the first to be produced, and then mine the next year. But it was one of our fans, our supporters, who paid the cost to have the bobbleheads made, and then we just gave them out at a football game, and I still have a little supply left that I give out at special times.
Very nice. We're hoping to get our hands on a Sister Elise bobblehead. Just letting you guys know at home. Now, Sister, this week in Daytona Beach, it's been a little bit since you guys have competed for a national championship. 10 years to be exact. What has it been like in sunny Florida?
10 years. It's been a long time, it seems, but we're so happy to be here, and it's awesome to be in Florida. If anybody's watching the weather across the country, Indiana is not a place to be. So we've been enjoying it very much, and the city of Daytona has been so very, very helpful and welcoming, and we love the hospitality. And I've enjoyed my few days. The team's been here longer, but I also got to see some of the sights of the area, so that was very nice. A nice break. Don't want to think about going home tomorrow, but I'm going to have to do that.
So let's talk a little on the field action. You told me you usually walk up and down the sidelines, but this one's been a little nerve-wracking. What is it about the national championship game that's got you nervous?
Well, this is a big game for whoever the teams are that are playing, and we have two great teams playing here today. So I have this, you can just feel it in your heart. It's just excitement for the fans, for the players, for Coach Donnelly, because I know he so deserves to win today. So we'll see what happens tonight. We'd love to be able to celebrate that.
Well, before Coach Donnelly joined your program 25 years ago, as of yesterday, he won his last national championship. What would it mean for him to bring one home, especially the first one to St. Francis?
It would be awesome to bring it home to St. Francis, to the city of Fort Wayne, for the great support that they've given us over all these years, and for him. He has worked so hard at this. He's one of the winningest coaches with 301, I forget now, 1 or 2. So anyway, we've been celebrating that as well. So to win a national championship to top it off would be awesome for him and us.
Well, I got to ask you a little football. What are your predictions for the second half?
Oh, I don't think about that too much. Whatever the score is, as long as we're ahead, I'll be happy. So I don't know. I hope we continue to score and hold back the other team. I mean, that's what you have to do.
All right, thank you so much, Sister Elise. Guys, we'll be right back.
You know, we're going on camera right here. I think so. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, she said she's ready for you. You want to talk? You want to check your mic for
Mic check.
Let's give it your nice voice like you're going to be on air.
It's a tough, hard-hitting game. It's a big hit by St. Francis, a big hit by Baker, and then the two St. Francis touchdowns. And our graphics machine is down, if you've noticed. So we won't have first-half stats. We might. He's trying to work on it. Either way, I'm probably going to bring you back on camera after, just for now. Look ahead to the second half. What do you think? What do they need to do? And then we'll take a break.
I got it.
You let us know when you're on.
Hey guys, since we don't have really stats out of those highlights, I'm going to show you this.
Okay.
We're back in 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Back here at halftime at Daytona's Municipal Stadium, 17-3, your score, St. Francis over Baker. As we welcome you back inside the booth, everybody, Drew Felios alongside Forrest Connolly, the former Florida State national champion. Well, we thought we could see a record-setting ball game as far as the score was concerned. We're way under that, and Forrest, not only is it low scoring, it's been a very hard-hitting ball game.
Well, both defenses have come to play. They've both heard about these explosive offenses, and you see what's taking place on the field. Early on, both offenses look very good moving the football, but as the defense has settled in, they've taken over this ball game, and it has become a defensive battle.
Yeah, St. Francis able to hold Baker to a field goal on their first drive, and from there, you saw the Cougars pretty much take over the game on defense and then on offense as their quarterback, Nick Ferrer, was able to move the team downfield. Here's the big hits we were talking about. Saw one there from the Cougars, and Baker also delivered, but this one a perfect pass delivered to Seth Cope.
Well, you see Seth Cope with the height advantage. He uses his heighty high points to football. He is the big play receiver for St. Francis. And then up the middle, Justin Green, silky smooth, gets to the edge, gets to the outside, outruns the defenders. He's been a tough, hard-nosed runner throughout this evening. It looked like he was about to break one, and he finally did.
104 yards rushing for Green. Logan Bertel, how about this? 18 completions for 92 yards. I've never seen that in any style of football.
Well, what they're doing is they're bringing pressure from the outside. They're not allowing those tackles to block them on the edge, and then they're bringing pressure in his face with Himmelgarn, 6'5", 280 pounds. He's going against a 5'10" center. He's using his length. They're coming up in Bertel's face, so he's got to get rid of the football very quickly. Short passes, he's not been able to go vertical.
Certainly size right now winning hands down over speed. So now as you look forward to the second half, if you are Baker, how do you get back in it? We'll address that coming up next from Daytona Beach. This right.
As soon as we get back, it's a quick Coach G.
Thank you, man. This crap right here too.
Thank you.
buddy's watching the game.
What he said? He said we're doing okay?
Yep.
Had a couple of hiccups, but hey, it happens. It happens. Huh?
Not as many as they're having on the other side.
Oh, yeah, man.
17-3 at the half. Baker trails St. Francis here in the NAIA Championship. Must have been a very interesting halftime with Coach Grossner and his Wildcats. Kristen Bedard down on the field with him.
Well, Coach, we started to see a little life out of the offense right before halftime. How do you keep your offensive players on the field longer?
Yeah, we started the game real well. At great tempo. They were getting tired on that first drive. We could have got 7, should have. Kicked the field goal, got the lead, and that's what we need to do. Our success is predicated on us knocking out first downs, and we got in a little lull there. We hit a big play and got a holding call on us. Otherwise, it could be 10-10. Hey, we've been there. We were, 17 down with 5 minutes a couple weekends ago. So I feel good. If we play our game, we'll get back in this.
Well, we definitely know never give up is a theme of yours, but what was the message to Logan at halftime? We saw him take a couple hits.
Yeah.
What is he going to do the second half?
Trust your O-line, stay in there, deliver the football. If he does that, we'll be fine.
All right, Coach, thank you so much.
All right. See ya.
Drew?
All right, Kristen, thank you so much. As you get a look at the Baker Wildcats, they will kick off here to start the third quarter. St. Francis will start with the football.
And that was an interesting comment by Coach Grossner, telling his quarterback, trust your offensive line. But I think the offensive line has got to do a better job and be stout at the point of attack. Those guards in the center have to pick their foot up, put it down. They can't give up penetration. And for those tackles on the outside, they've got to keep that outside shoulder parallel to the line of scrimmage. You cannot open that shoulder up too quickly because you give up a short corner and you allow edge rushers like Sparks and Shackelford to get up the field and get on top of your quarterback.
Take a look at tonight's weather here in Daytona. A crisp 74 degrees. In Fort Wayne, it's 22. And in Baldwin City, Kansas, there's a snowstorm and it's 10 degrees. So both of these teams, glad that they are not back home here tonight and just loving life here on the beach.
And you have to wonder also, Drew, does the humidity start to take effect with these ball clubs that are not used to the humidity that we have down here in South Florida?
So Baker representing Kansas and St. Francis out of the state of Indiana. Put it on the tee and start the second half. Not much good after that first drive for Baker to hang their hats on. But this is a very resilient club and the final remaining undefeated team in NAIA football. Justin Green back to receive it. He's got it for St. Francis. Another nice move, and Green takes it up to the 27-yard line. He is stopped right there by Indy Allen, the sophomore. So for St. Francis offensively, we saw a little bit of everything in that first half. We saw Mr. Green doing his thing, breaking the long touchdown run. We saw some pinpoint passing from Nick Ferrer, and we saw Seth Coate get into the end zone.
But what's interesting, Seth Coate has that one reception. Oh, he had another reception, a short crossing route for the first down. But he's been pretty quiet in this ball game. Let's see if they try to go over the top to Seth Coate.
74 catches coming in for Mr. Coate with those two. 76 on the year. Nice nifty move by Green, and he'll slither his way up to the 30 as Karan Brown took him down. Brown wearing number 50 tonight for Baker, and quite a resume for Nick Ferrer coming into this game. What he's done in the Conference of Mid-States Football Association football. 8,000 plus career passing yards.
What's most impressive is at least 2 touchdown passes in 25 consecutive ball games.
2nd down and 9, empty backfield, 5 wideouts in the game. Ferrer steps up and let go of it a little too soon. A little bit of pressure from the backside from that Baker front 4.
And Nick Becker was able to get pressure on Ferrer, did not allow him to set his feet. He had to get rid of the football prematurely on that play. This is exactly what Baker wanted coming out after the half. They want to get a 3 and out, get the ball back to that powerful offense.
Yeah, 97, Josh Coke Force. You called him on the first drive for Baker, but he was a little quiet as well. He has got to be a force here in the second half. Ferrer with time, and he'll deliver this one. It's caught, no, dropped. And he was intended for Cote. Cote had it in his hands and should have caught that one.
And you see they had 3 defenders around Cote. They went with max protection on that play to help those tackles. So now they had 2 to 3 receivers out on pass routes, which allowed the defense to have more people around those would-be receivers. And they got to Cote right as the ball got there. If you keep the receivers in front of you and you time it perfectly, you can make the hit right as the ball arrives.
Here's Spitnail. Josh Spitnail gets a high kick away. Nolan, fair catch, 25-yard line. So Baker with a chance to establish some kind of momentum. Can the Wildcats rev up their offensive engine? We'll find out coming up next.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at NAIA.org.
At the University of Saint Francis, you will engage in real-world experience.
The Meta program has given me experience in a way that's unique to only Meta students. You get to work with people not in your major, you get to work on real-world projects. Not every university has programs that you can go out in the world and start making work now, and you wouldn't have that in any other program.
Interested in getting real-world experience before you graduate? The Meta experience is available to all USF students. Apply today at admissions.sf.edu.
Welcome back. St. Francis leading Baker 17-3. Joining me down on the field is NAIA Director of Championships, Mr. Mike Higgins. Now, you get to see a lot of trophies get passed out. How many a year exactly?
Well, I don't get to be at all of them, but we have 25 championships just like this one in all various sports. And, you know, what a great atmosphere we have here tonight.
It's a wonderful atmosphere here at the NAIA Football National Championship, and you've really made it a bowl experience for these players. Take me through the week that they've spent here in Daytona.
Well, we have 2 great partners in the city of Daytona Beach and the Daytona Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau, and that's just it. We've tried to make this a bowl experience for the guys. Of course, 83-degree weather today didn't hurt, but they got a chance to go to Daytona Motor Speedway, an icon in the sports world. Kids got to be down in pit road, and of course, the beach is a great attraction as well, and just a super time. I think both schools really have enjoyed it.
Well, we've been in Daytona for the last 3 seasons. Where does the championship head to next?
Well, this is the last year of our contract with Daytona Beach, but I think we're close to a renewal with them. They're fantastic partners. They do all that we could ask in hosting a championship. We've been talking about the renewal here for the last couple months. Got a few I's to dot, T's to cross, but I think right after the first of the year, you'll hear an announcement from us, and we love it down here. They're great partners.
Well, we can tell your fans love it down here because so far they seem to travel well, at least every year that I've covered this game. What is it about the fans of these universities that make championships like this so special?
Well, this is a perfect situation for us because it's the first time both have, St. Francis has been here before, Baker's been here before in '86, but it's been some time. Neither's won a national championship. I think both schools would love to win a national championship. I think both fan bases feel like they have a chance to win a national championship, and that's the kind of fever you feel here tonight.
Well, talking fever, talking feelings and emotions, what makes NAIA football so special?
You know, it really is the true, we like to say we're champions of character. Our guys play for the right reasons. Throughout the week, we saw their involvement in the community and heard about what they do in their own hometowns. But at every one of our 25 championships, our athletes come and get involved in the community that hosts the championship. And we saw that at a couple of the hospitals and a couple of the elementary schools. And our kids just come here and jump right in and do such a fantastic job. And that's why we're so proud of our association.
Well, we can see that they're making a difference off the field, and it's definitely an impressive show on the field. And with that, we'll get back to the action and send it back up to the guys.
All right, Kristen, thanks. Baker goes 3 and out, and now St. Francis goes back to work. Green takes the screen pass, and he'll take it up to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd down, a little more than 2 for the Cougars. So as Kristen was interviewing down on the field, same story that we have seen throughout 3 quarters in this ball game. Baker struggling offensively, St. Francis keeping them at bay.
Well, as long as Baker keeps it at 21 points, being down 21 points, and it's more than 5 minutes left in the ball game, they're still in it. Remember, this ball club scored 21 points to get to this ball game in the last 5 minutes of the semifinals.
Ferrer goes over the middle, and there's Coate with a 1st down catch at the 34-yard line. So Coate came in with 74 catches, had the big touchdown on the first drive for the Cougars. Little quiet since, but a big play there to move the chains. Seth Coate has been around Coach Donnelly since he was 6 years old. Talked about the bond that player and coach have formed over the years. It is very special as Green slips again to the 34-yard line. No gain on the play.
And I want to talk about the big fella, number 75, Alex Wood. I love when guys let it all hang out. Look at the left tackle for St. Francis. That's a square chin football player right there, old school, letting it all hang out. So I got to give a shout out to my big fella out there doing his thing.
Did you play like that for us ever?
Absolutely not. I covered it up. Hey, it's the championship game. You got to let it all hang out.
2nd down now. Here's Green again, just waiting for that hole to open. Josh Coate, big 97. There on the stop that time. Josh Coate, the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year for Baker. Look at his defensive stats, just like video game-like. Crazy numbers, 17 tackles for loss.
What's interesting, he's only 6 feet tall. So what he does is he's able to get under the offensive tackles and use his leverage. He's a very strong, compact guy at 260 pounds.
11.5 sacks, but has not been able to get to the quarterback yet in this game. Ferrer under pressure, off his back foot. That's the throw you've been talking about, Force. And he hits Coate in stride. I think this one's going to be incomplete, though. Yes, it is incomplete. Great effort by Seth Coate, just a little short.
And you see the ability to get the ball down the field. Good job by the defender, Nate McLaurin, to push him out of bounds. That's what you got to do. You cannot stop him when he's up in the air, but if you can get him not to be in bounds, push him out of bounds, you make the play as a defender. Don't go after the receiver and get the interference call.
Baker defense has done its job over the last 2 series. Now the offense got to make something happen here. Here's Nolan from the 26. Not much room to work with on the sideline. And ridden out of bounds near the 30. Tough hill to climb for the Baker Wildcats. Right now, all St. Francis in Daytona.
Establishing the family base camp on Daytona Beach is a time-honored ritual. Obsessive? Maybe. Scientific? Definitely. But absolutely authentic. On the original American beach. Daytona Beach is the perfect place for families who want to kick their vacations up a notch. The fun, the excitement, everything you feel is real. Really real. On the original American beach.
At the University of Saint Francis, you will engage in real-world experience.
The META program has given me experience in a way that's unique to only META students. You get to work with people not in your major, you get to work on real-world projects. Not every university has programs that you can go out in the world and start making work now, and you wouldn't have that in any other program.
Interested in getting real-world experience before you graduate? The META experience is available to all USF students. Apply today at admissions.sf.edu.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at NAIA.org.
The NAIA National Championship brought to you by the NAIA Eligibility Center, providing athletic opportunities for over 65,000 student athletes. A special tradition here in Daytona Beach. Boats lit up during the Christmas holiday season. Nothing Logan Bertel would like more than to get this Wildcats offense moving as he misfires that time. Again, tight defense intended for Nolan. But there's number 30 there to break it up. That's Spencer Coward. He's been active tonight.
And Bertel wanted to go down the field to Lede Boost, but he was double covered. And a good job by Spencer Coward getting his hand in and knocking the ball down. But St. Francis is doing a good job of covering the vertical routes that Baker's trying to attack them with.
Here's Cornell Brown. They want to get him going. First down and more. Down the sidelines. Biggest play for the Wildcats in quite some time. And the home crowd will come alive here in Daytona.
And you see how electric Cornell Brown is when he gets in the open field and is able to use that athletic ability. Once again, you hand the ball off to Cornell Brown, who bounces it to the outside. He follows his blockers. You see the patience to wait for the block to form, then the ability to cut back across the defense and then get north and south once again.
So first down for the Wildcats. Jalen Rose. The wide out at the top of your screen. Brown flares out. He hits him. And now Cornell Brown again starting to feel it for Baker. He'll take it to the 31. Holman was there to take him down. Also Coward once again for the Cougars.
And if you're Baker, you want to get rolling. You want to get lined up at the line of scrimmage. You want to be ready to snap the football as soon as the official sets it.
So finally some rhythm coming back to Baker. Play fake now. They look towards the end zone, throw it a little short, and a tie-up inside the 5. No flag comes out, as it looked like Clarence Clark was all tied up with Nashawn Lewis.
And Nashawn Lewis did a good job of not fighting back through Clarence Clark when he tried to back shoulder that football. Bertel did not put enough on the football. And you watch Nashawn Lewis, he never went through the receiver. Good job, not allowing himself to get caught up and go through Clarence Clark to try and make a play.
Bertel tried the quick out that time, but this play blown dead.
False start, offense number 3, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's a bad penalty for this Baker offense because you had 3rd and 5. Now you're at 3rd and 8. Now you change your playbook. Now you have to look for something that's going to get you 8 to 10 yards to get the first down.
Is this 4-down territory, though, if you're Baker?
I think right now it is. The way the defense has played the first 2 series in this half, I think you got to go for it on 4th down.
So 4 wideouts now on the field. You see 54 Lucas Sparks. Keep an eye on him right side the defensive line. Logan Bertel, the player of the year in NAIA, delivers it down the middle. It's caught, first down for the Wildcats. Kwanzi Johnson made the catch.
And one thing I noticed on that play, the defensive line did not get pressure on Bertel. They allowed him to set his feet. And when he's able to set his feet, he's able to deliver a strike down the field to Johnson.
Johnson, one of those guys who likes to come down with it in traffic. Here's Brown again. Slips down at the 14, trying to make a move right there. But Baker's with that tempo back. That's a pickup of 3.
Well, you see the fluidity in the offense for Baker right now. They're moving, they're in a rhythm. You see Bertel starting to get comfortable back there.
Brown again. Right now, slipping down, the ball comes out, but the official there saying he was in the grass. But this is one that could go to replays. You see Stewart recover it for St. Francis. Keep in mind, we do have replay here in this championship game. It's not during the regular season in NAIA football. Do we see instant replay? But it is here in the championship.
Let's see that the ball come out. It looked like the ball may have been coming out. That's an interesting, and I think we're going to get a second look at that play. His
Ruling
elbow.
on the field is that the runner was down prior to losing possession of the ball. Previous play is under further review.
His elbow is going down, but is the ball moving as that elbow is going down? It'll be interesting to see what this call is. And the one thing that St. Francis did that all defenses are taught to do, immediately recover the football, whether the whistle is blown or not. Because if it's reviewed and you recover the ball immediately, you will get possession of the football if it's deemed a fumble.
Our replay official tonight is Robert Rougeau. Had a chance to speak with him before the ball game. Also last night at the banquet. Knew at some point this would come into play in this football game. And here with 6:48 to go in the 3rd quarter, Baker with their best drive since their first one to start the game. This is obviously a big call. It looked from where I'm sitting for us that the ground did cause that fumble, but we will see.
It was interesting because it looked like the ground caused it, but was the ball slightly moving before that forearm hit the ground? That's the key in making this call.
I think another key is Brown getting going. I think you see right there, I think once the back of his hand hit the ground, that's when the ball was jarred free. There's Robert Rougeau on the left with the Titleist ball cap on. First time we've had to go to replay here tonight.
And I like the fact that they're taking their time. They're taking a good long look at it. You got to remember, this is a championship ball game, and this is a very key play for this Baker offense. They're finally in a rhythm. They're getting their offense going. Their offensive line is doing a good job. But I think this also helps the St. Francis defense because they were on their heels a little bit. Their defensive linemen were gassing a little bit, and we talked about the humidity in the second half of this ball game.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner was down prior to losing possession of the ball. It will be 3rd down.
So the Wildcats offense will get another chance. They'll have it now 3rd down from the 13-yard line. Got to get it to the 7 for a first. What are you liking right here, Forrest?
I like a crossing route to Damon Nolan. If that safety drops back, you've got to watch number 5, Gerald Holman. If he drops back, I like a crossing route to Damon Nolan.
Here comes the rush. Bertel delivers. There's the crossing route, and there's the touchdown. Called by Forrest Connolly up here in the booth perfectly.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. Bertel read that perfectly. He watched the safety. Once the safety dropped back, he knew he had Nolan coming across the formation, and a good job by Nolan reaching out, getting possession of the football, and squeezing it to make sure the ground did not cause it to be jarred loose.
So some life back in the Wildcats. And now to make it a touchdown game. Baker's defense keeping him in it. And then the offense finally delivering. Clarence Clark has a field goal and a miss here tonight. First extra point is up and good. Logan Bertel, the NAIA Player of the Year. Over the middle. Damon Nolan makes the grab. We got a ball game in Daytona.
I'm trying to get it out. I'm trying to find Jarrell Holman.
That's awesome. That was pretty good, wasn't it? Oh, man. That was funny.
Yeah. I mean, exact play, man. I saw it, though. When I saw 5, I'm like, okay, if he drops back, because he's got that speed coming, they had nothing else in the middle.
Yep. Guys are scrappy, man. They don't go away.
Timeout on the field.
It almost looks like St. Francis is tired, man.
Yep.
Yeah, talk about his body language.
Yeah. Drive that time? Anywhere? See it anywhere? Well, a little bit of jump back in the step of Logan Bertel. Leads the Wildcats downfield and delivers a perfect one to Damon Nolan. And it's a touchdown game here for the NAIA National Championship. You see the intensity. That's why his teammates absolutely love him. Clarence Clark and Logan Bertel. That's been quite a duo all year long.
Well, Bertel has that it factor, and you see it, and he's shown it throughout the season, and you knew eventually it would be shown this afternoon. He's had a rough outing so far with the defense being able to get pressure on him, but when you give him time, he's able to deliver, as he did on that last drive.
This is going to be Gaston on the return for St. Francis. And he'll take it across the 25-yard line. Cougars will start at the 27. So St. Francis looking a little bit sluggish as a flag is going to come down on that return.
During the return, illegal block in the back on the return, take the 20. Penalties half the distance to the goal. First down.
And now for St. Francis, the offensive line has got to step up and accept the challenge. They've got to protect their quarterback, Nick Ferrer, and allow him to make plays. And you see the costly block in the back right here. And defenders always put their hands up in the air when they make a block that they know is illegal. Just kind of go with the flow and maybe you'll get away with it. Don't put your hands up in the air like, it wasn't me, it wasn't me.
So not good field position for the Cougars. Backed all the way to the 8-yard line.
And watch for number 52, Nick Becker.
Best momentum the Wildcats have had in this game. Delayed run to Green. The hole closes, but Green surges forward to the 15-yard line. That'll be a 6-yard gain and a 2nd and 4.
You know what's been common throughout this evening is when Green runs the football, he falls forward. He's one of those ham and eggers. You know, he's always falling forward. Even when it looks like he's stopped in the backfield, he's going to get you a yard or two because he's going to fall forward and put the ball out.
Sophomore out of Griffith, Indiana. He is emerging as a superstar in this St. Francis program. Here's a little flip, and that's Sean Boswell. First down yardage and more to the 26-yard line. That's a completion, and that's a quarterback's favorite play.
And that was a great job at the point of attack by number 87, Zach Gegner. Watch the block right here. The block right here, that opens up the hole and allows Boswell to get those positive yards. Once again, you've got to do your 1/11th on offense and on defense. Do your job, and you'll allow the play to be positive.
Catches don't get any easier than that, and neither do passes. Fake it to Boswell. Ferrer steps into this one, and he wants his man incomplete, though. That was intended for Rocky James. Avery Parker was right there step for step.
And you gotta love the little fella, Avery Parker, 5'9", 170 pounds, but he plays with a big heart. He's got a lot of big game experience, and he does a good job of playing the football, not the receiver.
Well, Parker's a guy that, you said it for us, picked on often, but he just keeps answering the bell. First team all-conference this year in the heart of America. 2nd and 10. Green back to the ground game, and look at him. Yards after tackle tonight, and contact has been huge. He grinds out 8 more.
And he is just the back that every team wants to have. Once again, nothing super exceptional or special about the look of the run, just a very powerful, smooth running back that knows how to fall forward.
It's guys like that, Forrest, that kind of find their way onto NFL rosters and eventually become household names.
And you see Baker up playing press man on this, not giving any room to the receivers.
Ferrer hesitated just a bit, and it's intercepted. The Wildcats have got it at the 38-yard line. Avery Parker came up with it.
And we just talked about the little fella. He's out on the outside playing man coverage. Good job by the Baker defensive coordinator and the defensive coaches to get up in the receivers' faces and play them up tight and up close. And you see the St. Francis receiver fall down, Monte McDowell at 6'2". They're complaining, saying that Parker pushed him down. But you see Parker able to make a play, keep his eye on the football. Now I wonder if they're going to look at that ball because it looked like the tip of the football hit the ground. The question is, if the tip hit the ball, did the ball move?
And I think they are going to look at this one.
The ruling on the field is an interception. The previous play is under further review.
Watch the tip of the ball hit the ground. It looks like, I don't know if that's a catch. It's going to be interesting. Let's look at this angle. Did the ball move? Because the ball can hit the ground as long as it doesn't move. And it was called an interception on the field, so there has to be indisputable evidence by the replay official to overturn this call.
And this could be one that gets reversed. Just saw the nose of the ball.
Hit the ground.
It did.
And it looked like it moved.
we will wait for the official word. Again, Robert Rougeau on the left up in the booth here tonight, and Avery Parker looks on.
But regardless, I think it'll be 4th down, and Baker will be getting the football back. So good play either way.
Avery Parker playing his heart out tonight. That would have been the 7th interception of the season for him. So he's had a great year. He's a senior, will leave the program. This will be his final game. And you can just sense a new sense of urgency from these Wildcats in the second half. But there you see where the nose of that football looks to be touching the turf.
I just want to know if they deem that the ball moved when it touched the turf. That's key. Because can you really tell that if the ball moved or not? I think that's why it's taking a little bit of time right now. They want to make sure they make the right call. And I like the fact that they're taking extra time. This game is of utter importance to both ball clubs.
After review, the ball hit the ground prior to the interception. The pass is incomplete. The ruling on the field is reversed. It will be 4th down for St. Francis, 33.5-yard line.
And regardless of it being an interception or not, they get the ball back. And that's ultimately what they wanted, was to get the ball back to this powerful offense that seems to have gotten into a rhythm. And we talked about it, Drew, last week being down. This is a Baker ball club. We talked to their players during this week and during the preparation process for this ball game, and they had not been down or had a close ball game all season during this undefeated season. And then 2 weeks ago in the semifinals, they find themselves down late in that ball game, and they're able to score 21 points with 5+ minutes left in that ball game. I think that has helped this ball club overcome what we saw early in this ball game, being behind by 14 points.
St. Francis fans trying to pump some life into their Cougars. Another punting situation. They have not been able to do much offensively here in the second half. Josh Spitnail on the field again. It's a short kick. See the Baker team getting away from it. Eventually marked down at the 42-yard line. So the Wildcats in good shape, trailing by 7. 4:28, third quarter.
And when you've got the player of the year and Logan Bertel coming out on the field, you've got to feel good about where you are if you're this Baker ball club offensively.
These two teams did play back in 2012. That was 4 years ago in the NAIA playoffs. St. Francis won that game 22-17. That was in the first round of the postseason. Tonight, here they are playing for a championship, and it's been a good one so far. First down for the Wildcats. Play fake now for Bertel. He fires, got a man open, incomplete. A little bit too high, ball kind of sailed on him. Otherwise, Lede Boos would have had it. Let's send it down on the field. Kristen Bedard is standing by. What's up, Kristen?
When Coach Grosner joined Baker University, he preached to these players the idea of never giving up. Little did he know that at the beginning of the 2014 season, he'd be living through his own example. He was diagnosed with stage 4 head and neck cancer. He remembers the meeting with the team as a pretty emotional one. He remembers telling them that he didn't want to miss any football and that this was the last time we were going to talk about it. Just like that, Baker football continued as normal. Coach said that if he didn't have the game, he'd have time to worry. Throughout the season, he only missed 2 days of football. Well, it's been 2 years, he's been cancer-free, and Drew, he has no plans of ever giving up the sport he loves.
It's just a great story as the Wildcats have such a close connection with their head coach. They do go 3 and out there, and a 4th down now coming up.
And I'll tell you what, St. Francis put their entire second team defensive line in for that series. They were able to get a blow for their first team, so that was a very good series for their defense.
Mayshawn Lewis, big factor in this game up to this point. So Jacob Tompkins on the field once again, and Sean Boswell back to receive.
And sometimes, Drew, getting fresh legs in there allows you to get more of a pass rush and get more pressure on the offense.
Ball down at the 12-yard line. So that's where St. Francis will have it. See the scores put up by both of these teams throughout the season. We expected a track meet here tonight at Daytona, and fitting here, the home of the Daytona International Speedway, where you have a race, but this has really been anything but a very strategic football game.
Well, Drew, there's an old saying in winning championships, defense wins championships, and we're seeing that so far in this ball game. I think whichever defense plays well at the end, that'll be the team that's the victor.
What do you think of the shades by Coach Donnelly here at 8:30 Central Time?
Hey, he's a cool cat.
Eastern Time, rather. Central, I'm thinking these teams playing by. Short run up to the 17. He has been the workhorse tonight. Justin Green had the big touchdown in the first half.
And you got to think St. Francis is trying to see if they could recognize coverage with Nick Ferrer and try and get the ball down the field to Seth Cope. Baker's done a good job of covering up Cope, whether it be bracketing him with the safety and the cornerback or shading the safety to that side of the field.
Faked it to Kelsaw, and now Green surging forward. We'll be about 2 yards short of that first down marker, and we're going to have third down coming up.
And once again, you see Green, he stopped in the backfield, but he's got that jump cut ability. You know, on that play, Akeem Francis, the leading tackler for Baker, had an opportunity to make a play in the backfield. You can see him kind of shake his head because he thought he had Green. But Green is so elusive and so slippery. That's why they call him smooth and the electric slide when he runs the football.
Third down and 2. 4 wideouts in the game. Ferrer waits and delivers. First down strike to his favorite guy, Seth Cope.
And Nate McLaurin was all over him, but Cope using that big body to shield the defender, not allow him to make a play on the football. You see on the outside, McLaurin is all over him, but he gets separation off the release, and he's able to use his big body and shield the defensive player from being able to see where the football is.
That is a tough draw to try and man up with Seth Cope for 60 minutes. Makes a big catch there, and now it's first down from the 30. 5 catches for Cote tonight. And now Green cut down. That's Karan Brown, the senior. Came in with just under 100 tackles, 95 to be exact.
And you see Brown fight through the block of Zach Gegner, not allowed himself to give up an edge. You see Brown, watch on this play. He fights through the block right there. Good job by the defense to fight through blocks and not allow themselves to be blocked. Offensive linemen and tight ends have got to be sticky on those blocks. When you get those blocks, you got to be sticky and maintain those blocks and give the back an edge.
Ferrer dealing, and was this caught? I think he held on to it, bobbled it for a moment, but Cote hangs on, and it's another first down for the Cougars.
You can see Akeem Francis once again right there to make a play. He bumps Cote off the line. But you've got to stay with Cote. I don't think you release Cote. And when you're playing that zone coverage, Cote is big enough and smart enough to find holes to sit down and make himself big for his quarterback for rear. You've got to stay on top of Cote.
Cougars now methodically moving it. Play action to Green and stepping up. A wide open guy at the 20. It's Cote. Stiff arm, and he scores. Touchdown, St. Francis.
And that's that stiff arm, Drew, I talked about in the open. He's such a strong receiver when he gets the ball in his possession. He can break tackles. He can make the difficult catch. An easy catch for him. Nick Ferrer did a good job of putting the ball where he could make the easy catch. And watch the stiff arm right here. He sticks it out and just pushes Avery Parker away. I don't know how you allow Cote to get this open. I don't care what kind of ball fakes they're doing. You've got to stay on top of Coat. You've got to stay with him every single play.
So Seth Coat, his second touchdown catch of the night. And momentum back to the Cougars side. Nix's extra point is good. It's 24-10. St. Francis answers the Baker score.
And you see the play action right here. Everyone goes for it. You see the linebackers get sucked in. And right there, number 21, Darian Winston, the best defensive back in coverage for Baker, falls down. That's what happened. I knew it had to be a reason that Seth Coat was as wide open as he was. Darian Winston, number 21, lost his footing and fell down. And Seth Coat did exactly what you're supposed to do. Keep running. And Nick Ferrer did a good job of knowing where his receiver was and finding him down the field. And Nick Ferrer keeps that streak going of 2 touchdown passes in every game. Such a streak by both of these guys. And you see this big play offense, they're able to strike at any moment.
Big smile for Seth Coat on the sideline. Also credit offensive coordinator Patrick Donnelly and Trevor Miller. St. Francis able to regain momentum here, and the dancing that had gone away for just a little bit is back. We saw this at the end of the first half, and the Cougars had kind of lost that swag for just a bit, but this program is soaking it all in. Started back in 1998 by head coach Kevin Donnelly. They can sense their first national championship right now. Still have a little over a quarter to play. So the offensive numbers right now for St. Francis that stick out. Green, the running back, with 173 yards rushing, and Coat now with
Free kick out of bounds on the
102
kicking
yards
team.
receiving.
The ball will be placed at the 35-yard line, first down.
So not the kick that Ryan Nix was looking for that time, but just to reiterate, Green nearly 200 yards rushing, Coat with over 100 yards receiving.
And now for Baker, you've got to come back out. You've got to try and put points on the board. You can't hold your heads down. You've got over a quarter left. You saw what you were able to do last week with a little bit over 5 minutes left in the ball game, so it's very possible.
Here's Nolan, makes a move at the 40, and he'll get taken out of bounds right there, 45-yard line. They'll mark it, and that will be a first down for Baker.
And St. Francis has to be careful with their aggression because they can't hit players out of bounds. You don't want to give up an extra 15 yards to this powerful offense.
Once again, an empty backfield for Logan Bertel. They've gone to this route so many times tonight. Brown waiting for that hole to open up. Got great blocks downfield by his wide receivers and got nearly 10 out of it.
And you have to think that Baker's setting up for a pump fake on that pass in the flat to Brown and then go down the field on the vertical route.
Back to the ground game. See the middle of that defensive line for St. Francis, 54, Lucas Sparks has played well tonight. And 98, Eric Hemmelgarn has just been a force along that defensive line. So Mr. Coates for St. Francis catches his 24th touchdown. As we end 3 quarters, Baker with a lot of work to do. Cornell Brown and company with 1 quarter to work. 24-10 here in Daytona. Yeah.
They don't score right here.
Big trouble.
You gotta have coverage underneath and on top of coach. Too many times that.
Yeah, there's not a lot of respect for him.
Too often they're leaving him out there with Avery. 5'9".
Yeah, that's not going to do.
That's a 6-inch.
We welcome you back to Daytona Beach. Drew Felios, Forrest Conley, Kristen Bedard. And a great crew tonight here at Municipal Stadium. Baker trails 24-10, but on the move. I think it's essential they get points on this drive. St. Francis very confident right now. Dutton able to make the stop on Adonis Powell. So ball spot at the 37 with a 3rd and 4. And again, it's the tough running back Adonis Powell. Let's see where they mark this. Going to be right at the first down yardage marker.
You know, it was interesting, right before the quarter ended, Cornell Brown, their leading rusher, limped off the field. So let's see if he's going to be able to come back into the ball game.
Oh, keep an eye on that. This one's going to be stuffed. Big 93 Chris Johnson got in there very quickly. That defensive line making things really difficult tonight on the Baker front.
And you see they get penetration by the defensive line. The offensive linemen are standing straight up. You've got to get low. You've got to keep a wide base. You cannot stand straight up and have not a wide base. If you don't have a wide base, you allow yourself to get pushed back into the backfield.
Bertel just misfired that time as Boost was running down the sideline. Had a small window to throw to, and it just closed quickly.
Well, right now they're getting beat at the point of attack. The offensive linemen are not giving Bertel enough time to throw the football. When you get your feet together, you don't have any power. That's what I talked about with that wide base, whether it's run blocking, whether it's pass blocking. On the edge, these tackles have got to do a better job of giving him width, and the guards in the center have got to give him depth in the pocket to be able to step up in the pocket. He can't climb the pocket when there's pressure from the outside because Himmelgarn, with his length and his brute strength, is pushing the center back into his face.
Now here comes 3-man rush. Bertel will step up, has a man, incomplete. Well defended by Jarrell Holman as Quincy Johnson went airborne, but Holman was just too much.
And Bertel did a good job of putting the ball where his receiver could make a play on it, but Holman did a better job of playing the football and knocking it down at the last minute. Ladae Booth had an opportunity, but you see Holman get in there and knock the ball down right at the last minute. And this is interesting, Drew. Do you think it's wise to punt right here?
I don't. I think look at the field position. Ball at the 35, you take a shot here. But instead, they're going to try and pin the Cougars back. Let's see if they get this. They really need this ball to stay in, and it does. So the Cougars going to have it near their own goal line.
And that's why you and I are up in the booth. And Coach Grossner is down on the field.
Coach Grossner decides to punt. His players make a play. Ball kept in by David Taylor. First down, Cougars.
At the University of St. Francis, you will engage in real-world experience.
The Meta program has given me experience in a way that's unique to only Meta students. You get to work with people not in your major, you get to work on real-world projects. Not every university has programs that you can go out in the world and start making work now, and you wouldn't have that in any other program.
Interested in getting real-world experience before you graduate? The Meta experience is available to all USF students. Apply today at admissions.sf.edu.
In basketball, sound fundamentals and a well-thought-out game plan can mean the difference between reaching your goals or falling short. The same goes for investing. The Buffalo Funds are a family of no-load mutual funds based on sound investing fundamentals designed to help you reach your long-term goals. The fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses must be considered carefully before investing. The prospectus contains this and other important information about the Buffalo Funds, and it may be obtained by visiting buffalofunds.com. Read it carefully before investing.
Let's meet today's star players in waste collection and recycling. The pros at Waste Pro. Waste Pro is Florida-based and the fastest-growing waste management company in the country. And when it comes to sustainability and environmental responsibility, no one cares for our communities like Waste Pro. Waste Pro, proud sponsor of the NAIA Football Championship.
The NAIA National Championship is brought to you by the Daytona Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau. Explore Daytona Beach and all its first-class amenities. Had a great time this weekend here at this NAIA Championship. St. Francis leading Baker 24-10. And it looks like that last play would be ruled a touchback, because St. Francis takes over at the 20-yard line. So Justin Green going to be dragged down by Nick Becker as Becker got into the backfield.
And I expect St. Francis to take their time on offense, allow some clock to tick down. They want to get first downs, but they also want to run some clock, run some time right now, because the more time that comes off the clock, the more pressure it is on this Baker team to try and get the ball back and put points on the board.
That brings up 2nd and 8. See the 4 wide receivers on the field for the Cougars. Nick Ferrer with time again. Lofts it in the air. Code is down there and makes a great catch. He is down at the 35-yard line. Darian Winston saved a touchdown.
And once again, you allow the big play receiver to get man coverage on the outside. He beats the bump, and then you've got safety help over the top in the zone, in the deep end of the defense, but they allow Coat to run by them. You cannot allow Coat to get to the outside and get behind you or on top of you as a defensive player. He is too dangerous when the ball is in the air.
Right now, Seth Coat has taken over this football game. 2 huge catches on the last few series. Fake it to Green. Ferrer going for the jugular. It's Coat for the score.
And that was game plan. They put Coat at the tight end position. He released right when the ball was snapped. I watched him the whole play. He did a corner post route. He acted like he was going to the corner route and went to the post and had man coverage. He had a safety on him. It's an easy pitch and catch.
You're watching one of the best pass catchers in NAIA football, Seth Coat, do his thing here in Daytona.
And they got the coverage that they wanted. They put him at tight end, and he's able to get a running start. He did not get bumped off the line of scrimmage. Easy pitch and catch. Nick Ferrer knew where he wanted to go with the football the entire time.
Forrest, they got the coverage they wanted, but right now,
whatever coverage. This guy is on a roll. He is feeling it. Ferrer finds Seth Coate. Cougars blowing this one open.
Let's meet today's star players in waste collection. Let's meet today's star players in waste collection and recycling. The pros at Waste Pro. Waste Pro is Florida-based and the fastest growing waste management company in the country. And when it comes to sustainability and environmental responsibility, no one cares for our communities like Waste Pro. Waste Pro, proud sponsor of the NAIA Football Championship.
Establishing the family base camp on Daytona Beach is a time-honored ritual. Obsessive? Maybe. Scientific? Definitely. But absolutely authentic. On the original American beach. Daytona Beach is the perfect place for families who want to kick their vacations up a notch. The fun, the excitement, everything you feel is real. Really real. On the original American beach.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase, student athlete, has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at NAIA.org.
How about Seth Coate taking over this game? Right now he's got 9 catches for 180 yards for St. Francis. This was the latest.
And Seth Coate has got what I call those butterfinger or buttery, soft butter fingertips. Not butterfinger, but soft buttery, because once he gets it, it's smooth. He catches it, he squeezes it, and he gets the easy score. Right now, he is taking over this ball game. They can't stop him, and I don't understand why they disrespected him trying to play him with man coverage throughout this ball game. You got to bump him off the line. You got to bracket him. You cannot let Seth Coate beat you, and he has done that throughout this evening.
He certainly has here tonight. Here's Boos now getting a block. Ladae Boos down at the 20, and now Baker will get it back. So St. Francis right now feeling it. This is a program that has come close 3 times before. I mentioned they advanced to the title game 2004, 2005, and 2006. Came up empty. Tonight just could be their night. The other side, you look at Baker, still undefeated with that undefeated record and those national championship hopes. Now they are on the clock. Just 12-14 to play and 3 touchdowns to make up. Logan Bertel's got plenty of time, and he has got his man at the 40-yard line. So the Wildcats get a good start to this drive as Nolan makes the grab.
And St. Francis has to be very careful. You want to keep everything in front of you, but you don't want to give up big chunks of yards. You've got to remember, you've got Logan Bertel, the best player in NAIA football right now, on the field.
Hey, look, y'all need to cut a little bit, man. Get this game over.
Now it's Bertel. Flag comes down. Clarence Clark gets his hands on it. This will be a very short game.
Offside, defense number 50, line up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Well, a couple weeks ago, when we talked to Coach Mike Grosvenor of Baker, he told us flat out, we're not going to change much or adjust to them. We're going to play our game. And I think you ask why they haven't gone to that zone with Coat. And I think perhaps they've said, hey, we're going to do what they do. But tonight, what they do has not been the best formula for slowing down the most lethal weapon on the field for the Cougars.
Well, when you've got a special player, you have to adjust to what he does. And I think when you look at the St. Francis Ball Club, they feel disrespected. We saw that last night in the awards banquet. They feel like they're just as good as some of these undefeated teams that they face. Remember, they beat Reinhardt to get here, another undefeated team in NAIA football. So they're not, afraid of playing against a team that's undefeated. And I think they accept the challenge of being those guys to knock those guys off.
Here's Bertel. Play action, comes back to the other side. Clark going to be stuck. Just not a lot of yards per catch tonight. These guys in the secondary for St. Francis have just played fabulous, making sure those catches have been kept to minimal gains.
And that's what you want to do. You want to punish the ball carrier. Every opportunity you get, Clarence Clark gets possession of the football, you want to punish him. You see defensive linemen getting out on the outside, making tackles, getting tackles down the field. That's what you want to do.
Here's Bertel stepping up, and he hits his man in stride, Cornell Brown, and that should be a first down at the 32. So still plenty of time to work with if you're Baker, but you got to have a score on this series. Little hesitation, now hand to Brown. He's got some room. He'll take it up for 11 more.
And as they get closer, now they're inside the red zone. The field is shorter, so the safeties won't be as deep. This is where Bertel has to be very careful with the football because there's not a lot of field to cover, and you've got safeties that can now come up and make plays on the football.
Now we got a timeout on the
Timeout,
field.
St. Francis. First charge timeout of the second half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Take a look at Cornell Brown there, number 2, an All-American this year for Baker. This is a guy who, when he got to Baker in Kansas, he was a little bit challenged socially, had a hard time adjusting, Forrest. I think we were all there, those of us who have gone to college and have gone away to school. Sometimes it's tough to make that adjustment, but slowly got into the groove. Coach Grosvenor says he has just come along beautifully. He's a junior now, still a year of college football ahead of him. But it's been so fun watching the maturation of Cornell Brown.
And what was interesting when we talked to Coach Grosvenor about Cornell Brown, the thing that he said is you just let him go. You don't try and limit him. You don't want to limit him. He's one of those guys that can just do things that you can't coach. It's natural ability. And you see when he's gotten the ball in the open field, his ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. He leads the NAIA with 180 points. So he is that guy for this Baker Ball Club.
Sometimes he'll make you hold your breath with all the cutbacks that he attempts. But you just got to let him do his thing. Baker trying to do that here in the fourth. Now Bertel trying to do his thing. He has got some speed. 15 and takes a pop at the 11. That's Lee Stewart who came up to let him have it. Stewart, a junior out of Lima, Ohio.
And because he didn't get the first down, the clock continues to run. Good job by the defense. Keep everything in front of you. Once again, Bertel has to be careful with the football because the field is short now. You've got safeties that aren't as deep. They will be able to come up and make a play on the ball if it's in the air.
Incomplete. Try to get it to Clarence Clark. Bring up third down. They just got to get one.
And good job by Marcus Stepp to get in there and put his hand there and knock the ball down.
Clark is the seasoned veteran of this wide receiver unit. This is a big play. Crowd comes alive on the St. Francis side. They throw it backwards. Tough play for Brown to make. And the ball came out as he took a shot. And this should be St. Francis ball as Wilmer Cole falls on it. It is Cougar football.
And you talked about it, Drew. Trying to get the extra yards, make the extra play. You've got to hold the ball high and tight. Watch Brown on this play. Right as he's going
Ruling
down,
on the field is that the player
the ball is hit
fumbled the ball
and jarred
prior to
loose
being down.
by number 31, Marcus Stepp, the player that stepped in the play before to knock the ball down. Comes across him with the big hit, puts his helmet right on the football. Good job by the St. Francis defense continuing to go for that ball and get the big play, which might be the play that closes out this championship ball game.
Marcus Stepp right there, the sophomore out of Fort Wayne. Also Romer Cole, he came up with it. Romer's out of Indianapolis, got a lot of players from either Indianapolis or Fort Wayne on this St. Francis roster as Green takes it now. And the Cougars are in the driver's seat, leading by 21. They can just let this clock start to tick away.
And the thing that Baker has to do right now, they've got to keep their heads in the ball game. You've got to think back, your last ball game, you scored 21 points in the last 5 minutes to win that ball game. It can be done, but you've got to get a stop right now. You've got to get the ball back to the National Player of the Year, Logan Patel, and that powerful offense that you have.
See the Cougars just taking their time. Up the middle again. It's Green. Nothing special as he's tackled by Akeem Francis. You know, Akeem Francis, number 15 for Baker. This was a guy for us that really had to have a monster night. Came in with 14 tackles for loss, 107 tackles, the leader of the defense. We've called his name not even a handful of times.
Well, I'll tell you what's happening. The guards are getting up to the second level defenders and they're covering up these linebackers. And that's because of the job not being done by the defensive tackles. They've got to do a better job of maintaining their blocks and not allowing these guards to climb up to the second level.
3rd down and 4. Cougars, here comes the rush, and the quarterback's going to go down. So Nick Becker makes another play. He's been active for the Wildcats tonight defensively, and Baker will get the ball back.
And as crazy as it may sound, that's a good play by Nick Ferrer. He did not see anyone wide open. Why take a chance when you're this deep in your own territory? They've got a really good punter. He's been getting rid of the football on the punt all evening. Give him an opportunity. You want to play field position. You're up 3 touchdowns right now. There's no pressure on you. All the pressure's on Baker right now.
There's Josh Spitnail again. He'll be standing in his own end zone this time. Cougars get the correct personnel in, and they'll max protect.
Delay of game. Offense number 90. The penalty will be half the distance to the goal. 4th down.
Expect Baker to perhaps bring the house here. Spitnail just a few feet ahead of the back line. Rush comes. Kick away and taken at the 45. Nice return set up by Nolan. And he's got it inside the 30. So not much damage done for Baker as they will get this football back now. We had another flag on the field right at the end of the play. We'll check this out before we step away.
After the play, personal foul on the receiving team, number 26. 15-yard penalty, 1st down. Timeout.
So it'll be Baker football when we come back, trying to fight off the frustration, trailing by 21.
Yeah, they beat Reinhardt, man, who was undefeated. So they came in, they weren't scared. I just think they had a different anger about them.
Yeah.
Man, you got to get me back to the hotel by 10, man. I got to hit that prime rib, man. You going to be able to hang out for a little while?
Oh, man,
I know you got that game tomorrow.
I know. I haven't even. I'm going to get up in the morning and prep. I got everything on tape, and it's basketball, but
yeah.
I'm going to get up at about 8 a.m. I think I can hang out for about 20 minutes. I don't
Yeah.
think I can eat because I got to be able to go right to sleep.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about.
Oh.
We don't have a post game, do we?
I don't think so.
Christian handles all that. Hey, Marty, we don't have a post game up here, do we? Christian handles all that, right?
All right, 15 seconds back. When the game ends, you two are going to fill until Kristen is ready for the post game. And she's going to take you guys just hang the whole time. When she's done, she'll take us off the air. Stand by, hold your shot by.
Baker football as they'll take over the 44-yard line. But just assess a 15-yard penalty before the break. Drew Felios, Forrest Conley, Kristen Bedard doing a great job tonight on the sideline. Wildcats with 7:20 to work with. They'll try and get it back quickly. And this over the middle and incomplete as Lede Boos was the intended receiver.
And you see number 4, Lee Stewart, just running with Boos. Not trying to make a play on Boos, just running with him. That's what you want to do. If he makes a catch, it's going to be a very difficult catch.
Try that right side. Brown, very shifty. And down at the 40.
And St. Francis doesn't mind if Baker runs the football because that keeps the clock moving.
Brown a little frustrated as he comes off the field. He's not really been able to break that big one here tonight. Bertel has the one touchdown pass to Nolan, but has been contained by this Cougar defense. Here's a quick slant, and Johnson's going to pay for it like his fellow receivers have so many times tonight, as Spencer Coward has just been awesome in the secondary.
And you see Spencer Coward break on the football. As soon as the receiver runs his comeback route and turns around to go towards the ball, Johnson, Coward breaks on the football and makes the big play.
And looks like we may have a player down on the field at the 35-yard line. And that is Pearson Harnish, the sophomore linebacker. Was a little shaken up. Was able to sit up immediately, so does not look to be too serious. But Forrest, you had a chance to play in a few national championship games, and there's the point in the game where it kind of sits in that you're probably gonna win. I think that point is just about to set in for St. Francis.
Well, you never know. You think you may have an opportunity to win a game, but it's never over until that last horn sounds. And the game is always tougher than you expect it to be. No matter what advantage you think you may have, it never works out like it's drawn up on paper prior to playing the ball game.
I remember when you guys, back in 1993, favored heavily over Nebraska for a national championship, and that game went right down the wire. It didn't go the way anybody thought it would.
Well, we played them the year before in the Orange Bowl, and we beat them pretty handily. So we felt like, okay, it's going to be the same result, same team, nothing new. And they had some guys that we weren't expecting. They had a freshman named Lawrence Phillips that came into the game, and everybody's like, who is this guy? So you just never know what guy's going to come up and stand out. I think we expected Cope to stand out. We just didn't expect Baker to play him, you know, one-on-one like they have throughout this evening.
Delayed handoff. This is Adonis Powell. It'll take it inside the 25-yard line. That was the first time that Florida State was able to deliver a national championship to Bobby Bowden. And tonight, same sort of situation with St. Francis and the Cougars closing in on a title, delivering it to head coach Kevin Donnelly. Donnelly did win one, as we said, at Georgetown and Kentucky, but this a completely different story because he has built this program from scratch.
Well, you talk about longevity. You talk about coaches sticking around and going through the hard times, also being there for the good times. And you like the possibility of this team delivering on to Coach Donnelly and his staff for all the hard work that they've put in.
Early movement this time. You saw Johnson just slice in there.
False start on the offense, number 70, a 5-yard penalty, first down.
And I think we need to tip our hats to both ball clubs because these kids go through a lot of sacrifice. When we talk to both teams, players on both sides of the ball, they talked about the sacrifice of not going home during the summers and working out and banding together for a common goal. You know, all of the games that they play to go along with the academic success that they exhibit in the classroom.
First down and 15. Bertel has this ball tipped up in the air, and it's caught. Cornell Brown wound up with it right in front of the first down marker. So finally a break goes Baker's way.
But once again, because they didn't get past the marker, the clock will continue to run. But the defensive lineman did exactly what you're supposed to do. Himmelgarn, get your hands up in the air if you can't get to the quarterback when you see him release the football.
Bertel going to try and take this himself. Can he get through the defense as he dives to the 4?
And Baker got away with the hole in the middle of that defense. Nuke Holden, number 54, grabbed a hold of Himmelgarn on that play. The officials didn't see it, but they got away with one on that play. And you're starting to see tiredness set in with this Baker
St. Francis,
offense.
their second charge timeout of the half.
You see the players with their hands on their hips. I think it's a good timeout for Baker. Let these guys regroup, get their wind up because they've got a little under 5 minutes left to try to pull off what they did last week or 2 weeks ago, which is 21 points in 5 minutes.
So Coach Grossner on one side and Coach Donnelly, the Dean of Football and NAIA. Look at that resume. Already in the Hall of Fame at St. Francis. 6 unbeaten regular seasons, 14 straight winning seasons. You know, if I were Coach Donnelly and I win a national championship tonight, I would think about riding off into the sunset, because when you retire, there's nothing like going out on top. How many coaches get a chance to do that?
But you know why they don't? Because of the competitive nature. I did it once, let's try it again. You know, you think if you finally got over that hurdle, okay, it's a little bit easier now because that monkey's off your back of getting that first one. You know, with this program, we talked about him getting one previously, but that first one with this program that you've built from scratch. So you finally got over that hurdle, why not try it again? Because, you know, the players want to, you know, the fans want to, you know, the school wants to, so why not?
Want to enjoy the fruits of your labor. First and goal for the Wildcats. Bertel rolls to his left, being pressured now, and he'll be pushed out of bounds at the 7 as Eric Dutton, the guy who moved from linebacker to safety, formed a great tandem with Pearson Harnish out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. Eric Dutton right there. He's played well tonight. So Harnish is back in. He went off the field moments ago because of the injury. And now second down for Baker. Bertel wants corner of the end zone, and that is a heck of a catch, but they're going to rule it out of bounds. It looked like Lede Boos made a fabulous grab, and it's going to be interesting to see where the feet came down. Just needs one.
And good job by the defender, pushing Boos, not allowing him to get those feet
Defense
down.
number 98. Penalty will be half the distance to the goal. Replay second down.
Good job by Will McCall, pushing Boos, not allowing him to get those toes in. All he needs is one in. The right foot was in, but the left foot was out first, negating what would have been a touchdown, putting them 14 points closer, or 7 points closer, excuse me.
So 2nd and goal, 44 attempts tonight for Logan Bertel. There's another play by Eric Hemmelgarn. The big man in the middle, number 98, has caused all sorts of problems for the Baker offense. And when you got that big pressure coming from right at that point of attack, right in the middle, that is a tough thing to combat.
Well, he's got such long arms and he's getting good extension. And I tell you what, St. Francis is doing a good job of not allowing the back to get across the goal line. What a goal line stand this would be if they were able to get a stop on 4th down in the national championship game. This would be awesome for this defense.
Here it is. Try and run it over the top, and Cornell Brown scores the touchdown. So it's 6 points for the Wildcats, but about as tough as 6 points as they have earned all year long.
And I think Brown got in the only way that he was going to get in, which is over the top, because there were no lanes for him to run that football.
And he is feeling that one. There are going to be some sore bodies going back to Baker tomorrow. 100 yards rushing now for Mr. Brown.
And I think you're starting to see the humidity take effect. Players are cramping on the field right now. And you have to think about these players. They're coming from Fort Wayne, Indiana. You know, they're coming from Baldwin, Kansas. You can't duplicate the heat and the humidity of Central and South Florida. It's wintertime, but it's still hot and humid in this area compared to where these two teams are coming from and the temperatures that they're used to practicing in.
One more look at the touchdown. Cornell Brown, he's had such an up and down night for Baker. He has taken some big time hits. And he has just done everything he can to keep his team in the ball game. So Cameron Shackelford was down for a moment, but he gets up and now he'll trot off the field. Looks like we've got an extra point coming up here for the Wildcats. (31-17) game, 2 touchdowns now. If you're Baker, you think an onside kick at this point, and just give your offense a chance. Keep in mind, Baker was here 30 years ago, 1986, and lost to Linfield that night, 17-0. Linfield out of Ohio. Just tells you how hard it is to get to this point. So many teams vying just to get to the postseason. You make it to a championship, it's been an amazing season. I don't care what level you're on.
Well, you think about this Baker Ball Club. They've carried the burden of being undefeated throughout this season, throughout the playoffs, and that takes a toll on you as well. Not only trying to play for a championship, but being an undefeated team, the only undefeated team left in NAIA football.
Cornell Brown now could just wait. You know, Forrest, there was one indication in the scheduling with both of these teams. As Baker took on Missouri Valley, beat them by only 3 points, 31-28 during the year. St. Francis played that same Missouri Valley team and scored 79 on them. And you're the first guy who saw that in the scheduling and said, uh-oh, that does not bode well for the Wildcats. And I think it's kind of played a part in this game.
And they downplayed it when we talked about it. They said, well, you know, different teams play, you know, a different brand of football when they face one another. But I think in the back of their minds, they felt very confident coming into this ball game because of what they were able to do against that ball club as opposed to what Baker was able to do.
Set up the onside kick. And this one is not going to go 10. That's a play that if you don't do it well, it can look very ugly.
Absolutely. And right now, if you're St. Francis, you run the football. 3 straight downs. If you don't get a first down, you take all the time off the clock. You get a delay of game penalty, and you punt the ball, and you play field position, and you go home with a national championship.
Free kick out of bounds on the kicking team. 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play where the ball belongs to St. Francis, where it'll be first down.
So ball will be spotted at the 32-yard line. St. Francis made it clear coming into this one what their objective was at the beginning of the season, and kind of came up with a motto that they didn't want anything to overcome their objective of getting to a national title game. We hear those mottos all the time, but theirs was we, not me, trying to stress team ball and bringing these guys together. And you just felt, talking to them during the week, this team had all the right chemistry, and that chemistry, it's not always there when you put great talent together, but it's there for this St. Francis club.
Well, they seemed very loose in the pregame warm-ups, and they came out with a sense of urgency early in this ball game with their offensive philosophy. They knew their big player was Cope, and they were going to find ways to get him the ball.
Under 3 minutes now. Ferrer turns around, gives it off, and this is another big run. Off to the races and into the end zone. Touchdown Cougars, P.J. Dean busting through. And that's the icing on the cake for Kevin Donnelly.
And you see the Baker players coming up to stop the run. When you have everyone in the box, if the back is able to get up to the second and third level, there's only 1 or 2 defenders to beat. You see him make the cut, P.J. Dean, and it's easy sailing to the end zone. And Coach Donald is such a cool cat. You see a little bit of emotion right now, hugging some of his players because he knows now he can feel it. He's won that championship for this St. Francis ball club.
18 years he's waited for this moment at St. Francis, and it has arrived. A cool customer on the sideline with the sunglasses. Never seen that before by a head coach in a night game. But tonight he has confidently coached his men, and just a perfect game plan. Saw Blake Schumacher come in, give him a hug, and can pretty much start the celebration for USF.
Well, you know you've won the ball game when the head coach takes the set off, walks to the back of the bench, throws it in the box, and walks up and unplugs everything else. That's a good indicator that you've won the ball game and won your first national championship for St. Francis University.
You know, Forrest, you learn something every time you talk to a legend. I learned something from Coach Donnelly as his team is set to claim this, the Dr. Tom Osborne National Championship Trophy. Still, we asked him, Coach, how good is this senior class going to be? And he said, guys, ask me in 15 to 20 years. It's not what they just do on the field tonight. It's how they develop as young men, as fathers, and in the business world. That's when I'll know how good my team really was. Tonight is just a little sample. It doesn't represent everything.
And he also said there's never a destination. It's a day-to-day journey that you learn along the way. Gems from one of the best coaches around, Coach Donnelly.
.248 left to play. St. Francis about to claim their first national championship. Taken back by Nolan. Stay tuned after this one. We'll have a special post-game report Down on the field, Kristen Bedard will have a little chat with Coach Donnelly. Lots of hugs, even some tears on the St. Francis side right now. See big Anthony Wilkerson, number 69 right there. He's a guy who came into the program. Coach Donnelly thought he wasn't going to make it at one point, but has found out the meaning of max effort, what it is like to give it your all and sacrifice for the common goal. Logan Bertel, another short pass reeled in by Clark as he's pushed out at the 34. And if you are Baker, you've got Logan Bertel for us coming back next season. He's still the NAIA Player of the Year. You're going to have skill players all over the place, and you're going to have a tremendous foundation to work with, but make no mistake, tonight a tough pill to swallow. Here's Bertel stepping up, making it happen with his legs, and they'll step out at the 44.
And for this Baker Ball Club, they have nothing to feel bad about. They had a great season. They were the last team to lose a ball game in NAIA football. Unfortunately, it's in the championship ball game.
Bertel not giving up. He'll fall down at the 42. This will be win number 302 for Coach Donnelly here tonight. And it'll be the best one yet that he's had as a Cougar. This ball, they're going to say it's no catch. Looked like Johnson was able to make the grab, but the official there to rule it incomplete.
Yeah, I thought he had his hands under the football when it bounced up. Let's see right here. Yeah, that looked like it was a catch.
And there may be somebody else that thinks it's a catch also. How about that side right there? That's as good as it gets. The headset's off. The coaching's done. Coach and quarterback embracing.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute, 31 seconds. 1 minute, 31 seconds on the game clock, please.
How about Nick Ferrer, the job he did tonight? 90 seconds to play. Will they call this one a catch? We're gonna have a flag back where Bertel let the ball loose.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense, number 54. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
How about the Mid-States Football Association, one of the strongest conferences, and I think the best in NAIA football. St. Xavier winning it in 2011. Marion out of Indiana wins it in 2012 and 2015. And don't forget about Grandview in 2013 claiming a title. St. Francis tonight will be the 5th of the last 6 national champions coming out of this conference as we get ready for the shower, for the legend.
Timeout. St. Francis, their final timeout of the game. This will be a full timeout.
And I don't think Coach Donnelly minds that at all.
Luckily they're here and not up in Indiana, where it would be really cold getting that shower, wouldn't it?
And I tell you what, if they were in Indiana, I don't think he'd mind it as well. You know, a national championship is so hard to come by. All the sacrifice and dedication that you put into it, coaches don't mind.
Oh, what a group. The process, as you said, Forrest, began in the offseason. So many of these guys did not go home. Instead, staying on campus, working with each other, getting into the weight room. When we asked about the offseason, they said there is no offseason here at St. Francis.
And what a sight. Number 8, Nashawn Lewis. You see the emotion. You know, it's all coming to a head, the realization that, you know, his senior year, he's accomplished that ultimate goal for himself and his teammates, winning a national championship.
Meanwhile, first down for Baker. Here's Bertel again. Steps back quickly, lets it go, and that is a nice throw. Jalen Rose has it inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first down and goal. So the Wildcats will have to regroup. This high-scoring team finished with 1 loss on the year, but it coming at the most inopportune time, playing for a national championship. You know, it's been the easy plays that Baker makes all season long that have just been made difficult tonight. And I think St. Francis's pressure and the hard hitting has had a lot to do with that.
What St. Francis has done a good job is they've had someone there on every play to make sure that Baker knows they're around. Even when you get positive yards, we're going to make you feel us as a defense.
Wrapped up and sacked. That's Marcus Stepp, the sophomore out of Fort Wayne.
And coming unblocked, Stepp did a good job of getting to Bertel, wrapping him up. You don't have to make the big hit. Just get the quarterback down. Too often you see a lot of young players flying in there to try and stick their head in there and make the big hit. Good job by the sophomore to just wrap Bertel up and get him down.
The celebration continues for Coach Donnelly. Kristen, what are you seeing down there?
Guys, I'm definitely seeing a lot of smiles, some water flying through the air. But you mentioned in their last timeout that the offseason doesn't exist at St. Francis, and a group of players got to experience something that was truly once in a lifetime. Last January, a group of players traveled to El Salvador. They spent 10 days building homes for the homeless. Coach Donnelly said when they returned, he couldn't believe the change in life perspective. Not only did they see an effect off the field, he saw a difference in his players on the field, and he definitely wants to make that trip an annual occurrence.
That's made his players more humble, made them appreciate more. And that's something I think all of us at some point in our lifetime should do. Really woke up his team and gave them a new sense of reality, made them work that much harder. Realize how lucky they are. Third down and goal to go. Ball at the 14-yard line. 2 timeouts still on the board for Baker. Now it's Bertel. Big hole. Will try and run away from the defense and step out just inside the 10, but he's going to have 4th down coming up. So 1 play here to try and get a score.
And I think that was the first play Bertel was actually able to climb the pocket because there was so much coverage. He had nowhere to go with the football, though. They had everything covered up. Exactly what you want to do if you're St. Francis.
Coach Grossner put together 10 straight winning seasons on the road to get here to the championship game. Tough way for this to end tonight. Bertel releases, incomplete, and that is going to just about do it. St. Francis will take over on downs, and they will start the celebration, or continue it, I should say.
And I think Cornell Brown was out of bounds, so it wouldn't have mattered if he had caught that ball anyway.
Now, Coach Donnelly talks about his children, his grandchildren, and his great-grandchildren last night.
And you see just what a popular figure he is at St. Francis. He is like the godfather of football. Clay Cenarius checked into the game wearing number 14 at quarterback. And that means it's victory formation time for the Cougars.
And I have to take one more knee, and I think that'll be ball game. And congratulations to the St. Francis Ball Club. Great season, and also hats off to this Baker Ball Club. They also had a great season too.
That'll be the final play from scrimmage. The St. Francis Cougars, for the first time in school history, are the 2016 NAIA National Champions. And now time for the victory ride for the legend, Kevin Donnelly. For this national title, there were no shortcuts.
I don't think they want Bama. I got to interrupt you. I don't know if they want Bama. A little bit too excited right there, Drew.
Well, they're enjoying the moment right now. They're ready to conquer the world. First title for the Cougars. They did it the old-fashioned way. They earned it. And really, a performance tonight where they controlled this ball game for most of the way. Well, it's time now for our player of the game, brought to you by NAIA Eligibility Center, providing athletic opportunities for over 65,000 student athletes. No secret who this guy is going to be.
Well, he caught the ball over the middle, down the field. He made plays. He knocked defenders down. He did it all for this St. Francis Ball Club this evening. He is the player of the game.
What a player, Seth Coate. And he's a senior. I have a feeling we could hear his name as perhaps a sleeper at the next level, trying to get a tryout with an NFL team for us. I think there's a few guys on this field tonight that are going to get that opportunity.
Well, he's got the size, 6'3", 215 pounds. He's got butter soft hands. He catches everything. He catches with his hands, with his fingertips. I did not see him use his body at all, to catch the football. He used his body to shield defenders, but he caught the ball with his hands, and I think that gives him a chance to be a player at the next level.
There you see Shannon Swain. He's the guy who has taken a leadership role for the Cougars, and the guy that Coach Donnelly is so proud of. How he has turned the corner the second half of the year. A night to remember for the St. Francis Cougars. Seeded number 4, taking down the higher seed, the Baker Wildcats. So right, you see in the middle of the party scene, Coach Donnelly being swarmed now by reporters. And at some point, we're going to get a chance to send it down to our Kristen Bedard as we begin our post-game show. St. Francis able to hold Baker on the first drive of the game, hold him to 3, a field goal, and then just take it from there. The first touchdown grab by Coate really set the stage, and they never trailed after that first possession in this football game. In the end, 3 touchdowns better than the Baker Wildcats. Tears on one side and jubilation on the other. That's what a national championship is all about. See big number 63, Zach Bernardo. He is by the national championship trophy. The Dr. Tom Osborne
championship trophy, guarding it, but players just waiting, and I think someone's got to get Coach Donnelly over to that trophy so he can get a taste. Such a great experience over the last few days here in Daytona. It was good to hear, Forrest, that there's a very good chance this tremendous event comes back here in years to come.
Well, they are a great host, and what a place to go and play for a championship in Central Florida. You know, beautiful facility. You know, they do a great job, and the NAIA does a great job, you know, with the teams that are able to come down here and be a part of this beautiful process.
All right, let's check in with Kristen Bedard on the field. Kristen, we're trying to locate you. Where are you?
Well, guys, we are still waiting for the rest of St. Francis to get up here to get their trophy, but we want to congratulate them on their first NAIA championship. It's going to St. Francis University, and I'm going to turn it over to NAIA Football Champions Manager, Ms. Kelly Briscoe.
Coach Donnelly, we need you on the podium.
How excited are you guys right now?
Extremely excited.
Well, I gotta know, like, what's the celebration gonna be like?
I'm not gonna know my name tomorrow. Hey, everybody in the world just heard you say that.
Well, hopefully we get Coach Donnelly up here very soon so we can present him with his championship trophy.
Hey, someone go grab Coach D right now. Hurry up. Get easy. Get Coach D.
I think we finally have a head coach heading our way. Once Coach Donnelly arrives, we will present him with his championship trophy and then, of course, get his thoughts on the win. All right, guys, congratulations, Coach Donnelly and all of the St. Francis Cougars on your very first national championship with the NAIA. To present your trophy, here is Kelly Briscoe, manager of football championships.
Coach Donnelly and the rest of the St. Francis family, congratulations on behalf of the NAIA on your first ever football national championship.
Championship, you founded the program. What is it like to bring this one home?
Well, it's just great to bring it home. Got a great university, Fort Wayne's it's just a great community to bring it home. And for all the players over the last 19 years, they've helped build the foundation of this program. It's just a tribute to a whole lot of people.
Coach, 25 years ago yesterday, you won your first national championship. What does it mean to win your second one, along with the program that you founded?
I just hope it's not 25 years for the next one. Feels really good, and it is very special.
Well, we knew leading up to the game it was going to be all business. How do you celebrate this win?
You know, we're just going to enjoy each other. A lot of hard work for the last 11 months, so we're going to enjoy it.
All right, Coach, well, congratulations. And now I will need our offensive player of the game, Seth Coates.
Sister Elise.
Seth, I'd like to present you with the NAIA Offensive Outstanding Player of the Game. You helped your team capture this national championship with 3 touchdowns. How did you help propel them to the win?
You know, just doing what they tell me to do. We have such good players around us that, you know, you don't have to be playing from Krypton to stand out. We have such good players that, you know, you do your part, things are going to fall in place.
What does it mean to walk away as national champions?
Yeah, you know, winning on my last game of the career, couldn't ask for a better, you know, blessing. And playing for the legend, you know, that's all he is. He's a legend. So be able to bring the first championship home, and, you know, I couldn't be more happy.
So we got to know, what's next now that football's done?
You know, I'll just wait and see what they want to do. If they give me an opportunity, I'll take it. So
hopefully we get a chance to watch you play at the next level. Now, to introduce your defensive player of the game, Lucas Sparks. Can I get Lucas? Lucas Sparks, our defensive player of the game. Lucas, this is for you. For a game we thought was going to be dominated by offense, it was definitely a defensive show. You had 6 tackles, a sack and a half, and forced a fumble. What was this game like for you?
It was just going out and everyone executing their job. Kind of went out and did our thing, and we knew that we could really impact the game defensively, and we just went out and did it. That's about all I can say.
What has this whole experiment meant for you and your team?
It's huge. We went 2 years ago. We were 6-5. Completely changed the culture. And last year we felt like we could have made it here, and then this year capping it all off with the national championship. It's huge. It's great.
So how are you guys going to celebrate this national championship?
We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
So is this maybe the first season you guys get a little bit of an off season?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, congratulations, guys, on your first national championship at St. Francis University. You defeat the undefeated Baker University. And, guys, I'll send it back upstairs to Drew.
All right, Kristen, as you see the player of the year in NAIA, Logan Bertel. Reality sets in He'll at least have to wait one more year to get another shot at a national championship. But on this side, well earned from St. Francis. Forrest, this started from scratch in 1998. Coach Donnelly has been there every step of the way, and tonight, they're the best in NAIA.
This is a culmination of hard work and dedication by the players, by the coaching staff, by the coaches' wives who've bought in and allowed their husbands to stay those extra hours and prep and plan and put themselves in the position to celebrate like they're doing this evening.
Hats off to the Cougars of Saint Francis tonight on top of the mountain of what is NAIA football. What a night here in Daytona Beach. And we hope you enjoyed it. For Forrest Conley, for Kristen Bedard and our entire crew, I'm Drew Felios saying so long from Daytona Beach, St. Francis 2016 NAIA National Champions. Have a terrific weekend.